All right, here we go, boys.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and drop this on there.
Damn.
That widened it up a lot.
I can scoot over a little bit.
Holy
You
shit.
can scoot over a little too, Jamie. Now.
Yeah, I can. We're live, boys.
Do not attempt to
Oh, can't do
adjust
it.
your television. We are coming to you live and direct from Grim 86 Freedom First Podcast Underground. This is Guerrilla Media.
That's why they got masks on.
You sound like you have that muffler filter on you right now. What up, yo?
What's up,
Apocalypse Day 9.
Apocalypse respirators on.
Coming at you too from California.
Deep behind enemy lines.
This is what we got for you guys. We're all in quarantine, so we're trying to keep safe, you know?
Right?
We want to make sure that we're doing our part.
Yeah, gotta keep it quarantine, you know.
Did you see that quarantini the drink that they made?
No. What is it?
It's this is like a martini, right? But it's basically a screwdriver, but instead of orange juice, you just use vodka and then you use the emergency powder. And that's a quarantini.
The emergency.
Yeah. Oh boy. We got one person watching.
That's all right. We're just waiting for people to join us. We started at 5 minutes, 6 minutes early.
Yeah. I gotta take this off. It's too hot for me.
Yeah, let's go mess around.
Gotta be serious.
Yeah, I really don't get this whole scare thing about this whole like coronavirus, man. You know, I think people are way overreacting.
Oh man, yeah. So I was listening. You guys might have heard the music or the noise in the background. I was just listening to see the sound quality. It sounded fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I could hear everything, even with your muffled double mask.
Good. All right, so what I did was I snapped on I have a lens kit for a cell phone, and I snapped on to the webcam of this thing, the wide angle lens kit. So it opened it up for us quite a bit. So now it's actually viable to use this as fit all three of us on the camera, which is kind of cool.
It's fucking cool.
Yeah, way cool. We wouldn't have a bunch of shit on our face, you know?
Yep. A bunch of microphones.
I sometimes like shit in my face.
We're not knocking that.
I'm just saying.
We're not knocking that.
No freedom, bro.
Hey, you're free to express yourself, Johnny Doe.
Taxation is theft, Chris.
So what's new, guys?
I'm gonna go on there and share this thing out.
Yeah.
Oh, you found a cord. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think. Well, hopefully it's working.
So we're just gonna hang out. Like if there's one or two, whoever's here, we're just hanging out for a minute as we let people join.
Yeah, we got. We're going to talk about the coronavirus and what's going on with that, and some statistics, some actual numbers, not what ifs or scenarios or anything like that, but actual hard factual.
You said hard.
Hard facts.
So we do sometimes.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Hard
science.
facts. Sure. Yeah.
I think it's something I wanted to talk about too.
Yeah, these are our scanners in the background you might hear because we're in a mobile command Ford operating base, really.
Yeah. So I got a couple new knives. I want to show you guys.
Oh. That's cool.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Buck knife, right on.
And then my favorite, a Tonto knife.
There you go. Cool.
So is it both new?
Yeah, they're both new.
Okay.
Right on.
Everybody should have one.
You have a knife on you right now,
knife.
Jamie?
Yeah.
I got the old Kershaw.
Very nice knife.
Nice little buck. That's cool. This is
Yeah, it's sturdy, man. It's well built.
it a spring assist? No.
No, this one is. Yeah, check this out.
This is my new Kershaw, Johnny.
I gotta get one of those, man.
I think I've shown.
I think I
already.
saw right. Yeah, right. at
Because
the
it
end
opens
of-
a little slow compared to yours.
Right.
What do
It's
you guys
pretty cool, man.
What do you guys use your knives for?
opening boxes.
Mainly. Yeah, I mean, mostly it's
packages.
like I literally use it to
Yeah.
open boxes.
Yeah. It's a nice tool to have in your pocket.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, so I've carried a knife for the most of the time I can remember. All right, like most of my adult life, I've always had a knife in my pocket, and I honestly feel really weird not having one in my pocket. Like I'll forget it at home every now and then, which is very strange. It's usually something I do with my pocket check in the morning.
No international travel.
My dad gave me my first pocket knife when I was like 6 years old.
Oh wow!
And I've always had one close.
I feel like I always had pocket knives when I was a kid too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I was always like I was never an idiot.
And I never thought to use it to poke somebody
ever.
Never have I had that thought. Well, maybe in my adult life, but no, as a kid, no. Growing up, heck no, man.
What up, Corey?
So I passed on my a buck knife to my son when he turned 6, or he was around 6 or 8 years old.
I think I got one of the Swiss Army knives, little red ones.
Yeah,
got like a scissor, a knife, and a file or something.
Yeah, I gave him something like that, like a old style buck knife with a wooden handle and the brass end pieces on it.
So once again, a couple more joining us right now. So we're just chilling right now for a couple more minutes, and then we'll get going. But we're just letting people join us. So we'll be talking about
what's
whatever.
up, everybody.
Yeah, Corey, good to see you.
Thanks for tuning in, Corey. Who else is on there?
No,
there's
but
4
there's
people.
4.
Well, but I think one is me, one is you.
I'm not on there.
You're not?
No.
I'm not on. My phone's dead.
I'm posting on Grim 86.
There you go. I just shared it on my my thing.
On your thing, share it to my wall.
On your page?
Yeah.
I'm putting live.
Because I don't have access to my internets right now.
Fire up your phone, dog.
Martin is in the house.
Martin. What's up, bro?
Yeah, that would be cool. If you could just click on something or.
What up, Martin?
Well, their names usually pop up, right?
We should click on something to tell who's on.
Yeah.
You can click on. Oh no, you can't.
Got 5 on. What's up, everybody?
Participants. Yeah, you can.
We're just getting ready to get going right now.
Corey, in the next to the on the computer where it reads live chat, there's the 3 dots to the right of that. If you click on that, there's a button that says participants, and that shows you who's in the room. I don't know if that only shows me that because we're the admin of the stream. I don't know if you can see a chatter, but try it.
Yeah, it should be like a section.
You can see behind us, we are not in a
regular-
normal.
yeah.
We've only done shows from command bunkers or garages.
Mhm.
So this is kind of a
Try to
mobile
keep it
outpost.
underground,
You know what I mean?
Let's see if I can figure out a way to do it on mobile because Valerie's trying to figure it out too.
There's a lot of light. over
Yeah.
here. Like I need a tan. It's tanning season.
No, I love how much light it is. Look how fast the camera is.
And this is like this is my apocalypse beard I got going on. As you can see,
The stubble.
it's starting to come in very nicely. Yeah.
It's your apocalypse.
The
Okay, yeah.
patches will
Yeah.
start filling in like next year sometime. I'm sure.
That's 9 days growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is probably about a month.
Oh, I would have just stayed with the 9 days, and I was trying to help you out there.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Because we're on day 9, right?
I'm not one of those guys who can grow beard.
Right, yeah, like in 2 days.
Who grows hair
Yeah.
out of his fucking.
Asshole.
I wasn't gonna say that, but okay. I was gonna say.
Hey, sometimes you
belly
got-
button.
Sometimes you gotta shave your taint, bro. I'm just saying.
Yeah, sometimes you got to whack down the weeds to see what's
Sure.
going on, and you may have lost a ball or something.
Yeah. Lost a ball.
Just one ball.
Yeah.
My brother cleared out his whole yard. He lives on a ranch somewhere.
Found a ball.
Was it
Missing it the
essential?
whole time.
He found like 6 balls, like hard balls. My nephews play baseball, so they're out in the backyard all the time losing balls.
Blue balls.
All kinds of different colors.
Sure.
Balls, huh?
Oh,
I hate when I lose my balls.
Yeah.
Well, I
How-
guess I
Oh, what up, Steve?
Steven, what's
Yeah,
going on?
what up, bro?
Valerie.
What up? Yeah, so we're just still waiting. Those are joining us right now. We're gonna wait a couple more minutes. We're just kind of waiting for people to gather, and then we'll start talking.
Yep. We got a couple of topics, but mainly we just miss you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just want to get on here and chit chat. You know how
Edward
he's
3,
doing with
1124,
us.
way up in the Edward 9 beat.
So this has kind of got my head.
You guys having trouble
Turning?
hearing with the stuff going on in the background? Just let us know in
Edward
the
3,
chat.
1124 in the Edward 9
Tough.
beat.
So it's got my-
5200 San Antonio Road.
Nice.
Across the bridge road.
Yeah. So having the camera on there and then knowing what I know about the OBS software we've been using, I think that if we use either this machine and another laptop, we could do a forward and back facing camera at the same time. Or we could just get more webcams for our main computer and use them all in tandem, because you can make different cameras work for different scenes. So if, say we wanted to do something like we eventually have an area where maybe you have like camera time to talk about something, and then we switch over, and then the other person, maybe we're all sitting like, facing each other in like a real like a space efficient oriented design. I'm just thinking we can do a lot with multiple cameras and like
It's like a
different
real
camera
neat
scenes.
safe space.
Yeah, a real neat one.
What we could do is
Yes.
I could set my
Are you
own
social
up.
distance?
No, but then like the different camera would be like, yes. Okay, now your turn real quick.
Yeah, like we could set up our own. Like you set yours up here, Johnny sets one
Right.
up at home, and then we just.
Well, no, I
Link
mean
up
like
and-
that.
Oh, that's
I don't mean
different.
like that.
No?
Yeah, no.
He's
we
talking
have-
about on site.
on site,
Yeah.
but like we could have different. So like for instance, you ever watch a video, like a how-to video on someone making something, and they have like the overhead camera
Rolling a
as
joint.
well as the camera that's looking at them. Sure. For me,
Like we're doing like survival shit, like,
right.
and he's just like, this is how you roll
An AR or
a
something.
joint.
Hey, that's cool.
Well, you were like all like
I already know how to roll a
doing
joint.
something.
But do you though?
I'm just saying, like those shows that have multiple cameras, they can switch two different cameras during the show. I think is really cool. Now the other thing, the remote thing, where we do like a live stream where we're on like a conference call. That's something different. You have to be able to stream it still. So, or even just record it. Just record it, and then we could upload it to YouTube. It doesn't have to be live, but it could be.
Right.
It could be a live conference call.
That would be cool.
I wouldn't mind doing that live on our show. Didn't we talk about that?
Yeah, we got to figure out all that shit.
Online?
That's the main thing we've always been saying, like, because we've had other people like in the past, like Without Rulers and a couple other ones that I've talked to. I just can't think who they are right now, but they were asking about like Libertarian Snake. A couple of them were saying, hey, we could do like a call into the
Skype
show.
call.
Yeah. So we just got to figure it out, right?
Yeah, it is. It's just a matter of
More computing power.
I don't want to try it on the rig that we have currently because
No.
it is
No, not at all.
pushing. With that thing right now.
It works fine. It's just at its limits.
Yeah.
Today, it's not the same rig. This is a laptop, so we're just this is a
we're just
little,
taking it
See
easy.
how it works out.
There's a little mobile command kind of thing.
I use this one. I got this one recently, and I put a solid state hard drive in it, so it's way faster than it was when I got it. And I put all of my the chirp software and the drivers and everything for these on there, so I can take this and bring it to.
We never even got to talk about
Where
these
we
on
need
our
to go.
podcast, huh?
Did we never talk?
I don't think
about
we
these?
never got to get to
No, I
these
don't think so.
on our live streams when we were doing gear reviews. We never got to them.
Well, we should definitely talk about them
Yeah.
because we're
Go for it. You know
we're
more
all
than I
using
do.
them. Okay, all right.
I use them all the time.
So these are the radios we use. Look, Johnny still has a badge on it. Mine came off, but it's the Baofeng UV5R. I believe is the model number. You can get these on Amazon for like, you don't pay more than $35 for them. You can find them for about $25-$35 on there. It is essentially a CB radio. They output at 5 watts,
Where is it?
which if you know
At the bottom there, UV5R.
there it is. Or was it 5R
Or is it-
VU? Whatever. R5 UV5R. Yeah, I said
Yeah.
it right. It's just backwards in the camera. They are so basically it's a small CB radio. They output at 5 watts, which is extremely high for a handheld radio. So if you do decide to program these with the FRS radio frequencies, you are not allowed to. But it totally works. Maybe.
You never know. There might be some plans online somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You
Freedom
might be able to
bitch.
find
I don't
them.
know.
No.
Yeah, you may or may not
If
be
you
able to.
type in certain
So
words.
the reason why these things are so cool is because what I've programmed all of these to do is they actually work on our local police frequencies as well. Now, the thing about these radios and why you got to be kind of careful with them and kind of know what you're doing when you're programming is that if you put it on a police frequency so you can eavesdrop, your transmit button by default still works. Okay, this means that you can talk directly to the police, which is illegal.
Right.
So what I've done is on all the police frequencies, I've disabled the transit button. I can make my programming available online. If you guys want to take that, I can give you my COM files, and you can just use that to flash your ROMs on these if you want to. However, you have to understand that this is all programmed for our local area, local law enforcement frequencies, and frequencies that are local to us.
And a lot of the departments are going to be going encrypted, which locally to us, Morgan Hill already has. I believe CHP might have, and San Jose might have. Those two I'm not 100% sure on. But the sheriff's department for the county is still good and on these scanners, and Gilroy PD. So we've been listening to those. So like for instance, he has GPD and I have sheriff's department. So that way we can hear what's going on.
Yeah, and they're really cool. Like if you use them moderately, I've had the battery in mine last for months at a time, just only turning it on for a little bit every day. But I mean, if you keep it on all the time, it still lasts
about a day. If you have it the whole day, it's decent
on
traffic.
a busy channel. Right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it'll be about a day.
They make an extended battery that sticks out about this much farther. It actually makes it look more like a military style radio. And then you can even get the 3-foot flexible blade antenna.
Well, so they even have ones that I don't know if you've seen yet, but my boy, shout out to John, has one that booms up and it'll break half and then has a cord around it. Yeah, because they have a 4-foot and a 3-foot.
And then if you want to, because they're supposed to be worn on your pack, you can just undo that thing and just have it be up in the air waving around. So those are pretty cool. They also make mobile car kits for these as well. So you can get an antenna that actually sits fixed up on top of your vehicle. And then you can have one of these just sitting in its little cradle or however you decide you want to have it charged or whatever. But you can put that in your unit and then screw the antenna right into this. And then you've got a vehicle-mounted antenna, a vehicle-mounted CB system. They're really cool. They're easy to use once they've been programmed. Unfortunately, programming them proved to be even a little bit of a feat for me, not saying that I'm the end-all be-all when it comes to this kind of shit, but I'm a little more mechanically inclined than most people.
Technology inclined.
Yeah, took me a little time to.
All I wanted was sharks with freaking radios on their head.
But yeah, cool little system. You can get the two-way speaker microphone, just like the police use. You can get that. You can get earpieces. You can get all kinds of stuff. What I end up doing is I actually just run. I run this on my plate carrier right here because right here I can talk into it normally and everyone can hear me fine. And then what I do is I just run a stereo cable, like an aux cable, and I run that from this through the band of my plate carrier into my ear pro. Yeah, because it only comes through in the one ear because it's just a mono speaker.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then the other version of what he's saying, exactly the same thing. The only difference is when you have the PA mic like the cops talk into, which I run on my rig, is then there's a little plug on the bottom if you buy the right one. Make sure it has the plug. Then you hook that little cord in there and you run it into your ear pro. Same exact concept. The only difference is your radio can be on your rig or whatever, and you have the little PA mic.
The push to talk right there, yeah.
And then, but you'd still, you use the electronic ear pro and then it cancels out your gunfire sounds, all that. Also, the other bonus to that is that you can hear better than with your normal hearing. Absolutely. Like you can hear everything like far away. So, and then it will still transmit only through your one ear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mono.
Yeah,
I love it too.
They're
dude.
fucking great. I love these little radios.
Yeah.
There's something else there. The price. You can get them on Amazon. I mean, they come. Valerie just ordered some the other day, and they did get delayed by 1 day. But I mean,
because of the apocalypse, 1 day delay, bro.
Darn, right? We got him though.
Damn.
So talking about that real quick,
apocalypse is taking over.
I was just gonna say. So how's the you guys at home? How has the apocalypse been treating you? Like, what have you guys been up to? How, other than watching us on Pornhub, what have you guys been doing to pass the time?
Worst apocalypse ever.
Exactly. Like, I don't know. The people that are my friends on Facebook and Instagram have seen my apocalypse daily updates. So, they've seen what I've been doing.
Bianca. Okay, we got Bianca in there. Hi, Bianca. Rush Hour Garage. What's up? Make a cigarette lighter,
Oh,
charger
what up?
adapter that replaces the battery too. Good intel. Good intel.
Mm-hmm.
That's our buddies over at Rush Hour Garage saying what's up.
These things are awesome for say like you have to get out of the area.
Yeah, I have 1 second, real quick. I have the wall mount charger and the cigarette lighter charger. So I have both those that come in like a kit. So like also when you're searching for them on Amazon or whatever, you can buy them in a package where it will actually supply you with those things. Like I bought one. I have 4 radios. One of them I bought where it had like fully loaded. It comes with the earpiece, came with the extra cord. It came with the PA mic. It came with the charger, the car charger. Came with all that stuff. So you can look around. There'll be different deals. So the price is obviously going to vary.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just buy in the radio itself and then the extended battery,
Yeah.
like you were talking about.
So like I will say this about these things. They are
And a convenient, stylish lanyard.
yeah.
That
They
only
are-
nerds put on their radio.
These are like
You're all,
It is what it is.
Guilty.
these are from China, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Coronas.
I've seen this exact.
Puts his mask
I've
back on.
come on. Yeah.
Wait, show him what that is. Show him what it is. Wait, show him what it is.
Little Lysol.
That's like way bright. Ah.
Oh, God. Damn. Fucking Coronas, take me now.
Is that your,
It's mine, yeah. So, all right. So what I was saying was, these are cheap Chinese radios. They work for what they're good for. Don't expect for this to be like a high quality police scanner. If anyone's out there that's an enthusiast where you're used to being able to have different banks where you can tune out different channels and scan different banks, you can't do any of that I've been able to figure out. You can scan through one list of channels. There's only one modifier that just says either scan it or don't scan it. You need to do the legwork to find out where your location is and what the frequencies for your law enforcement agencies
Local
around.
law enforcement.
Yeah, and if you live in a big city like San Jose, it's kind of difficult because you have to find out what district you live in. You have to find out if that district has not gone to encrypted yet, and then we can try to see if it works. But if you're in a busy place like San Jose and you have your radio programmed and you're not hearing chatter for at least, I don't know what, an hour would seem ridiculous in San Jose for it to ever go in an hour without any chatter.
Hey, Steven, are you still on there? Hey, what up, Chuck? If you're on there still, do you know if it went encrypted yet on San Jose?
That would be good info. But yeah, they
What's
are
up,
good.
head jerk?
They are good for what they're good for. They're not. These are not like some pinnacle of technology. That's not what we're trying to say. We're saying these are $35 bug out.
Wait. Yes, they
Yeah.
went encrypted, or no, they have not gone encrypted. Yep, I would assume means yes, they went encrypted, but I don't know. Just want to confirm it.
The back, all spooky.
It's a different coronavirus.
Yes, they went encrypted. So San Jose's.
Okay.
No more
so
San Ho.
San Jose might not be in the loop
Yeah.
anymore.
They should start selling Corona packs 19 count.
The
That would be
holiday
badass, bro. Yeah.
Right?
The Apocalypse pack.
19.
That'd be pretty
COVID-19.
sick, bro. You're here first on Grim 86.
That would be cool. Can you hand me my phone there?
Yes.
So
I'm just gonna put this back.
I mean, how concerned are you guys about actually getting?
Not any more than the when the bird flu or the swine flu or any of those things were out. For me personally, wash your
Right.
fucking hands. Like stay away from like people that you don't normally hang out with. I mean, it's if you get, for me personally, it's
Mhm.
like if you get sick, you get fucking sick.
Yeah.
The death rate is like what 1% of the people that get infected. It's something like that. It's like nothing, and that's like the flu so far. I mean, obviously this is not over yet, but the flu has been worse than this. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, but we don't have the end of this
Yeah.
yet. You know what I mean?
I just
So,
think
I mean, at this
yeah,
point.
yeah. I think that we
It's over exaggeration is what I'm feeling that the
I
public
think
is.
that there's some overreaction, but I think that
Some, I would say a lot.
Well, I wouldn't say there was a lot. I would.
Well, me personally, I'm saying there's a lot of overreaction.
Yeah. No.
Personally,
I mean, I'm
what's
sure,
your take? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
What's your
I'm
take
sure,
on this?
I'm sure there is. I'm more concerned about people panicking.
If you know this
And-
guy named Tim Hennessy, then you know it's overreactions.
Poor Tim. He's not even here to defend
I
himself.
know,
Yeah.
poor guy. Tim Status.
He lets us use his house.
Yeah, still bust his balls. I love him. He knows.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's all right.
No, Tim's a great guy, dude.
I fucking love that guy.
DJ parties for him and painted some stuff for him. And
DJ dance party.
They've always been, him and Mary have always been super cool.
So shout out.
Yeah. So shout out to
Tim and Mary.
Big Tim, you puss.
So what's your give an honest assessment
No, okay,
of your feeling
so-
of where we are at from Chris?
Okay, so this is how I felt. Like whether I mean it's happening. Obviously, it's happening. There's been hundreds of deaths in Italy, like over the last month or whatever.
Yeah, they got it pretty bad.
I mean, they did get it pretty bad. So I used to work. I used to work in a lot of the tech businesses, like going in and out, but those are all shut down. So basically, right now I'm only working from the office. And
Was today your first day back?
no.
Oh,
I was
okay.
back last week.
Okay.
Yeah. I was.
You've been working, so you never got told to go home.
Yeah, there was a couple days where we were told to
So
stay home.
let's pause real quick. So I am out of work right now because of the situation. Jamie was told to go home for the week, and he just came back today for a limited amount of work, and Chris has not been affected. So I mean, as far as
Only a couple days.
okay, so only a couple days, but generally not really affected.
No,
right?
well, not really affected, but I see from being out in the field and going into like these tech companies and medical companies.
No. I'm talking about your personal job. That's all I'm saying right now.
Oh yeah.
So what I'm saying is that's a pretty good example of like out of exactly a little bit.
Right?
All right, now what you seen when you go out to the medical and what were you saying? You go out to different places.
Yeah, everything is quarantined. Like a lot of the tech companies will have people sitting outside with thermometers, and they'll check your temperature.
Sorry, almost spit
It's
my
a
beer out.
hands-free scanning device, so they scan your forehead or whatever, and they ask you a few questions. But
I always tell them to give
I
me
don't-
the anal thermometer. I don't know why. I just feel like it's more accurate. Like I'm like, hey, we can just step aside real quick. I want the accurate reading, and then
because it's like
I just gotta confirm that shit. No
for
pun
science.
intended.
It's for science.
Yeah.
It's for science.
Sorry.
That's
Continue.
all we gotta remember.
Continue.
It's always for science. Okay. So I see. I don't see a lot of people working. I mean, a lot of these companies are completely shut down. They don't even want us in there.
Right.
But not all business can shut down. That's
Essential
just,
or whatever.
Yeah, that's just the reality.
Right.
I mean, even businesses that are not essential. Like my job is not essential, but I'm still working because our company needs to still receive product or handle small things. Because there's companies out there who have scaled back their employees and have like a really limited skeleton crew where we can go in and take care of whatever it is we need to take care of for these companies. The medical facilities do not want us in there if we're not sick at all. So we're
You mean if you're sick? Oop, shit.
No. If you're not sick, they don't want you in the they don't want you in the building. Like if you're not a
I
patient,
don't know why I did that. It was just a natural.
if you're not a patient, you're not there to be seen by a doctor. Like they don't want you in there. Like,
Right.
They don't want people working in there, and they don't want people. I mean, they don't want people working who are not in the medical field in their buildings.
Well, yeah, and it's only people with life-threatening problems, right?
Right.
They can't even go to medical
Yeah.
places. So.
My mom is in the hospital right now as we speak, and she's in there for unrelated to COVID-19.
Yeah.
So she's getting care here locally, and then she's being transferred over to her main medical facility in San Jose. So hopefully they keep her safe, man, because I would hate for something to go down like that. My mom is she has a compromised immune system and respiratory system, so that would not be good for my mom.
So she's kind of prime candidate then.
My mom is prime risk.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, right now, that's
You can
what
scoot
I'm
in a
worried-
little bit now.
That's what I'm
We're
worried
trying to
about.
figure out this camera as we go here.
That's what I'm
Watch
worried
your
about is that my mom comes across something, unintentionally. So we're keeping an eye on it. And they won't let us into the hospital, so we can't even go and visit her or anything.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's been
That's
kind of
pretty heartbreaking.
yeah, it's kind of rough, man. And there's somebody coming in.
Hey, Phoenix. Phoenix showed up in the chat.
Hey,
That's Valerie
That's
back
Val. Hey,
there. Can you give me one too, Val? Yes, please.
you're not that polite. He's normally not that polite.
Yeah, he usually is like, yo, beer me.
No, he
It's not true.
really? Because like I saw him do like this one
He just
time,
does a snap. He
and
doesn't
like
even.
Valerie
The
came
word's
running
not
out,
even.
like
Oh, yeah.
she looked really scared with the
Beer.
beer.
Yeah. She's like,
She was shaking.
and then she like bows. Bow to your sensei.
That has never happened in
Yeah.
our entire life. Jamie is the nicest.
He just like
fucking
slowly
guy
slides
you
off
will
screen.
ever meet in your life.
What up?
Yeah, that's not true.
Or is it?
Dun, dun,
Moving to
dun.
my house. I'll be back later. All right, cool. Thanks for popping in, Phoenix.
Right on.
We definitely miss you guys. I miss doing this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
like-
fun, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's supposed to be released today and go back home. My mom.
Good.
So
Yeah.
she's doing better.
So she can actually do self quarantine now
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
comfort of her own home. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Go visit her. Look at way better through the window, you know. Hey, Mom.
Way better through the window.
How you doing?
Get her a radio.
Yeah,
you a
yeah, I
radio.
can do that too.
Yeah, right outside.
All right,
That
now
way,
you
when
just
we
get it
bug
more
out,
from
she knows, okay, now I know not to go down 10th Street because it's backed up and people are shooting each other there. So I'm just going to go.
Get the radio.
Sounds like
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Sure. A normal Tuesday.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys
Just
do any?
another blustery afternoon in Gilroy.
So what are you guys doing? Tell us what you guys are doing to pass the time. I feel like movies and video games are a big one, right?
Oh yeah. My buddy Jack. What's up, brother?
So-
Representing.
What have you been doing?
I
Chris?
play the Division.
So
and
video games is your answer.
and it's-
Jamie, what's your answer?
It's funny. It's funny because the Division is based on
This is.
a flu.
He's been still talking about this.
Dude,
The last
I love
time,
it.
yeah, he's
Game,
obsessed.
dude.
I like it.
Great,
Dude. Yeah, yeah.
So the game is based. Is the story is a virus was released in New York, and it turns into a pandemic and kills millions of people. And like you are a agent tasked to rebuild the government.
Did you hear about the prequel? It's the EMT.
It's an EMT.
Yeah, it's not the paramedic
It's not the
that breaks out
Division.
pandemic.
Instead of an EMP.
Yeah.
Nice.
EMP.
EMT.
Yes.
All right.
Well, we
Wow.
haven't had those good ones in a while.
So-
I mean, zingers, bro. Come on.
Jack said Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is a game that just released last week. Brand new on the Nintendo Switch, I believe. Kind of funny that it is a almost Minecraft-esque style game where you go on there to do chores. You gotta get food. You gotta trade food. I have never played Animal Crossing, so I'm not exactly sure. But it's like an economy type game where you have a character and you have to gather resources and use them to trade with other players and so on and so forth. It's like a social type thing.
Free market.
But it's funny that we all get put on quarantine, and then everyone is at home playing Animal Crossing doing virtual chores.
What is it? I need a sandwich. Oh no, Switch. Sorry,
I need a Switch. Yeah, everyone is playing. So the internet is blowing horribly, violently, killing, slaying demons of hell, or they're fishing. I guess.
And
I
a
don't
lot of,
know. I don't
and
know
a
what
lot
you
of alcohol.
Probably a lot.
Because
of
even
alcohol.
people I know that like don't normally drink are drinking.
Dude,
So,
one meme fucking hit me hard, and
A
it's
lot.
because it hit home. It was like, I'm already buying booze for the next 2 weeks for the third time this week.
That's a true story, bro. Like, seriously. I mean, like, tons of people are like, yeah, I usually I drink like once a month, or I haven't drank in like a couple years. Now they're fucking drinking. I mean, what
World's
else?
ending, dude.
What are you fucking gonna do? It's the goddamn apocalypse.
Nice. Corey stocked up on edibles.
There you go.
There you go.
I did too. I don't drink.
Yeah, Chris does not do that.
But somebody was
But he's not fucking square about
yeah. Drink all you want, man. Have your fill.
Freedom.
So I was watching a YouTube video, and there was a lady on there, and they were interviewing her. It was like this
We are outside, by the way.
news organization. They were interviewing her, and they were like, "Ma'am, what do you think about all the liquor stores closing?" She goes, "Holy shit! I got to go buy some alcohol. I don't want to be sober when the end of the world
Yeah,
comes."
right.
Yeah.
Start,
I mean, dude, seriously.
start shutting down liquor stores. You're gonna see riots. bro.
I'm sure there's been studies saying, showing that people will drink more in times like this.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
But
or smoke more. Are
I
you
used
smoking
it-
more?
am I? Only because I'm home.
But that's the point.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're smoking
Yeah,
more.
regardless
yeah,
of the
we're
reason,
drinking
it's
more.
happening. Right?
Yeah.
It's
So-
like garlic festival
You don't
rules.
have to justify your
It's like
shit.
garlic festival rules. when-
Yeah, right.
It's like the whole weekend.
Yeah,
is
it's
kind
like,
of a, it's
dude,
kind
you
of
start
a
drinking
cheat
at 10
weekend, you know?
o'clock,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Every day
That's
is
okay.
every day is summer in the
Yeah.
apocalypse. You
Yeah.
just guys got to think right. Like,
Well,
yeah.
somebody posted something. It was one of the bartenders here in town. She said, it was a meme. It said, quarantine rules are fucking airport rules. Have a drink at 9 a.m. if you want.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I love it. It's fucking hilarious.
Hilarious, Jamie.
Jack is saying their dispensary's still open up in Alameda.
Mhm.
Our neighbors up north. Not so far.
Well,
north.
and that's another thing too. Is that like even though we're all like a lot of us are in California, shit.
Yeah, you can't buy anything.
Yeah, you can go to the store, regular store, like a Safeway type store. You can go to a Costco, and you can go to a liquor store, quick stop type thing.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah, there's no.
There's not many other like,
There's no.
or a laundromat.
Yeah.
Like you can go to a laundromat.
I will say that the delivery service that I use down here is still running.
That's good.
The guy will still come right to your house in the middle of a
Nice.
quarantine. Fucking yes.
And they have what we have on the Grim 86 page, the strippers delivering in, what is that, Texas?
The boobers.
Yeah, is that what it was?
Yeah,
That was amazing.
Boomers
Some
Eats.
free market shit, bro.
The strippers out of work.
And they're
They
driving in
wanna
one of those little fucking lame ass 3-wheelers. Where there's one wheel in the back and the 2 seat, and they're driving to deliver it. I swear. And the dude driver, that's the security driver, he's wearing the mask, all with sunglasses, driving around with the stripper to deliver food. They were delivering like full on like PBRs, bro, like a big old pack of PBR for beer, and then whatever their food is that they sell there. That's free market shit. That's pretty badass.
Dude, PBR.
So if I set up a
like-
stripper pole,
PBR is amazing. You shut your whore mouth.
Dude, no, I'm telling you, we used to when I had my first apartment. My first apartment when I was 18 years old, dude. We used to go down to the store,
Yeah.
like we were all broke, dude. A bunch of 18-year-olds, right? So we would like pull all the lint out of our pocket and try and scrounge up change for like $4. You could buy a fucking case of PBR,
1914.
and we used to get fucked up.
Yep.
I used to have
I
a
used to do that with
pile
hams.
of
Hams was
fucking
cheaper.
beer cans like in my backyard from all the fucking PBR we used to drink.
Do you remember when we used to like stack them and save them and do all that dumb shit we did when we were kids? Like, did you guys ever do
$4.
Did you guys ever make?
Yeah, I bet you all you fucking liberals with your recycling think you guys are dumb now since the end of the world's happening.
Joke's on you.
Suckers!
Do you guys remember making like
I'm not gonna clean the ocean now.
We used to make like the beer mids and stuff like that. Do you guys remember that shit? Where you
Yeah.
start out with a square and then you just make a fucking a beer mid.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, like you go
I
through,
just like the wizard staffs just personally, but that's
Wizard
different.
Staffs is
That's
hilarious.
different. That's a
dude.
game. I know that's different,
It's
but
fucking hilarious.
I just love that shit.
Yeah, so
Oh, it's raining. You got a little rain, boys.
Yeah.
so I'm into the new game. I don't have any old games. Do you ever play Fall Flat?
No.
Okay, so like you're this like gelatinous character, right? You have to walk him like, and he's like so like just like
Jello-ish.
yeah,
yeah,
gelatinous.
yeah.
that he's just a mess. Like it's hard to move him or whatever. And then on top of that,
That's like how you said it. He's just a mess.
on top of that, you have to solve puzzles. Like you have to move like big stones or move crates or
Okay.
pull ropes.
I'm gonna step
But
off for
you're
a
this
minute.
fucking
All right.
gelatinous character who's like it makes it almost impossible to move around. Like you just it's just check it out. It's pretty.
All right.
Wait, do you have Xbox?
No. I have a PC.
We may have to remedy that.
No, I don't even use my PlayStation for it. So I use the PlayStation, but I use it for the VR. That's like why I have it.
VR is pretty cool though.
The VR is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Did you play mine?
Yeah,
you
I
did
played
at Johnny,
yours.
at Johnny's place,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah, that was amazing.
So like bow walking. So like bow walking. I missed what you were referring to on that one, but the whole system is fucked. Like, I don't know. The Johnny's liberal comment was kind of out of left field, I think, but it was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, we make.
Oh no, it's because they said we were stacking up all the beer. That's what provoked it. I was like, "What did he say that again?" But yeah.
All right.
So what have you been doing, Jamie?
He's been a little bit of gaming here and there where I can. I've been working on my home theater system. I acquired a new piece of gear and kind of integrated that in, and just been moving stuff around. So you guys can't see what I've done out here, but after I mounted that there's a TV over
So
there.
what we are is in a backyard with it's like a port, like a cover, and there's a door to the outside, and then he's got a TV mounted over this way.
Yeah.
And he's got like LED lighting. So
Got lights up there and stuff, and they're all.
It's like a cover.
Yeah, it's there's the house and there's the garage, and there's this. They built a thing covering the two of them, so there's a little patio area out here. So this has been ever since I moved in. The lights are all controlled by voice, so you can turn those off and on with the assistant.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that. And you got the with the NSA.
Yeah, with the NSA.
And then you got the little remote hanging up there.
Yeah, that's just because I just leave it on the RGB, so it just changes colors all the time.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's a nice little setup.
I'm working on next what I was going to do.
There's a lot of empty beer cans. I'm just going to say a lot.
There's a lot.
A lot.
There's a lot
Like,
of empty beer cans. Yeah.
If someone was sieging the house, you could probably put that in front of the door, and they couldn't even get in.
Yeah,
Or shoot through it.
those are like 30-gallon bags, and they're full.
It's like 900 million.
Seriously.
But I've been
There
working
must
on
be
this.
like $200 of aluminum.
I'm thinking about putting.
You can rewire the fucking house.
You can melt those down and make Wolverine's claws out of it.
Adamantium.
Yeah, adamantium. That's what all these cans are made of.
But so that's what I've been working on. I've got some other plans. I'm gonna drill through that wall right there, and I'm gonna put a new.
It's a perfectly good wall, bro.
It's gonna be a big
Well, I
fucking
like
hole.
that.
in it.
Perfectly.
And I'm gonna put a receiver on the inside of there. I'm gonna wire up two speakers out here somewhere that work off the TV.
Oh, okay.
So I've just got to, and then I have to figure out how to make the remote control work through the wall. So I'm probably going to use an IR blaster repeater to go through it and whatnot. I've got a lot of shit going on in my head about what I'm going to do here. I have been actually getting back into gaming a little bit. Just yesterday, my buddy Josh booted up a new Minecraft server that I started on yesterday, and I've been playing on today just because I fucking love Minecraft. I don't know, it's the stupidest childish game.
No, I mean, dude, it is what it is.
Oh man,
You know, I've never honestly played Minecraft.
dude, you get stoned and play Minecraft one time, best game ever. Ever.
Really?
I shit you. It's
Yeah.
the funnest thing to
You're
do.
speaking his language right
It's
now.
the
He's gonna come
funnest-
back. Next time we come on, he's got a Minecraft shirt.
Go on.
Go on. Yeah, dude. Like it is. Like if you find it on sale on Xbox Live, or whatever, for cheap.
Oh, I
pick it
have
up.
I have a copy. I just never installed it.
Oh,
Dude, it's
well, there you
great,
go.
man. You just got it. Like what I would do?
I just see like
Go sit down.
all I see is like a little like 5-year-old playing Minecraft.
I
That's
know.
why
I know. So
Never-
here's the thing. Do like get in there, play the game.
Nerds, bro.
And then when you because you're gonna run into stuff that you can't figure out because the game does not give you a ton of direction at
Mhm.
first. Then as soon as you start watching YouTube videos, the trick is
And the graphics will blow your mind.
find a YouTuber.
The future is now. Now.
Here's the biggest challenge:
Now.
find a YouTuber that plays Minecraft that doesn't sound like a prepubescent boy. Because it is very hard to find any YouTubers that play Minecraft that you want to actually listen to.
You want it,
Because they're
wait,
annoying.
or they're not virgins.
Minecraft.
They're annoying as shit. So you find someone who's older, right, that plays it, that can talk your language, and oh man, fucking Minecraft is
The
great.
language of love is what he was talking
Minecraft
about.
is great.
It's great.
Nerd. Everyone just saying nerd. Okay, all right, that's great.
Some fucking Minecraft, bro.
Fucking love Minecraft. I don't give a shit.
So what has Johnny Doe been doing?
Johnny Doe, what have you been up to?
Well, I would say I was prepping magazines and loading ammo and shit, but that was already done for like years, so like that was good. But I did go through the gear again and again and again and again.
Just boredom?
and again. No, actually just trying to fine tune, make sure what I want is where I want it, and then the stuff that I can spare selfishly, not out of altruism, but the stuff selfishly because I want my boys to be safe. If something does happen, I do have that gear for some other people that would show up at my location. So I've been trying to fucking plan out some of that stuff. Been working on some firearms with buddies and stuff. Just kind of shooting guns, drinking beer, Like that's pretty much what we've been doing at my place. BB gun fun, bonfires, barbecuing.
Just
like
living life.
it's like a Saturday.
fucking normal.
Every day is Saturday. What up, Trent? Because that's kind of what Trent does. Every day is Saturday. All right, goal. Well, you got a goal?
Go!
Yeah, see, goal. Yeah, fuck y'all. I'm not a conformist.
I am. I'm a performist.
Fucking conformist.
Awesome.
I had to throw my hands up, man.
That was hilarious.
That was because I was
Hey,
fun.
I get it, man.
So
You got a
I-
Lions hat. I
I was
get it.
It was we
Sure
used to
did.
do that we used to do that when we were at parties and people would show up and be like, all right, everyone do it. And like everyone would just sit there, everyone's standing, talking, just having normal conversation, just standing
Right.
there with your arms up. And people would just walk in and be like,
What are you doing?
they would just do it. They wouldn't
Oh,
even
just-
question it. Like
yeah.
it's the sheep.
My
mentality.
guys, see, I didn't even know that's what he was talking about, and I was correct. I'm not a conformist.
Well, you ever see that like the Chinese study people, like if they're like they send them to an appointment.
The
right?
room with the beep.
Yeah, they study
Yeah,
people, and then they make
yeah,
the corona
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
virus,
Yeah.
bro.
And they spread the virus.
Fuck yeah, I know what the fucking Chinese are doing. My buddy's
I
all,
don't.
my buddy posted this thing that fucking Canada shut off all people from the US going in, and I put hashtag wall.
Wall. You guys, they put it on the wrong.
And it was a Trump supporter that posted it like, dude, Canada fucking shut off all their borders. Well, hashtag wall.
Get fucked.
Yeah, fuck.
He's all they put it on the wrong side. I don't know what the fuck. Somebody buy this man a globe.
Oh shit. Yeah, we usually have a globe, but that's another location.
So,
Spanning the globe.
here's what I wanted to talk about. Before we leave the coronavirus apocalypse talk, which is probably we're not going to leave during
No.
this.
No, we'll
Well,
keep
I
coming.
mean, we still got numbers that we're going to talk about.
We have a lot of things
So-
written down.
The biggest thing that I'm seeing on the interwebs and on social media is I'm seeing a pretty big divide. You have a lot of people who are demanding help from the state, help from the government, help from our leaders,
Like 95, 99%.
yeah, to do something about this virus. And so what that's giving us is mandatory quarantines, business shutdowns, all kinds of stuff. Now, all of that aside, just goes to show that when you push for legislation, you get it, and it does oppress other people, which is something we've always tried to express here. Even if it's something you want, you have to think, is it okay to decide for someone else what's best for them?
No.
All right. Now, all of that aside, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a lot of people either completely losing their minds about this, saying it's the biggest epidemic or pandemic we've ever dealt with. And I'm seeing a lot of people that are saying it's really not that big of a deal. Now, I will share this little bit of information with you. Is that
And that's
most
almost like 50%, like split down the
it's a
middle.
hard divide. I have
Very
not
hard divide,
I
yeah.
have not seen one person that is down the middle about it. It's a hard divide.
Right.
Now,
I am.
I will say this:
Shelter
you think
in
you're down the
place?
middle about
I
it.
am. Like, this should be like, so I am totally into the prepping thing. But I'm not like ridiculous about it, which we're going to talk about later. We already have a good little conversation about that we want to get into. But yeah, you should take it totally serious. You should, if it's outside of the people that you know where they're going. I mean, you can't control everyone, so you don't know. I don't know where you guys have been, right? But I do know I'm interacting with you guys. I'm washing my fucking hands. I'm trying to stay back a little bit, like obviously not for the podcast.
Right.
But yeah, I'm trying to do all that stuff. I'm being responsible.
They're saying it's a fucking diary. I guess it
It
could
is
be.
not a diary.
It could be, but I mean, it isn't.
It's show notes.
The Diary of James.
It's
It
a
is-
journal.
Yeah, it is a journal. Someone said
He
it.
puts
right
it
there.
in his.
It's a
Oh, I
journal.
didn't see that. He puts it in his satchel. It's not a
Jones
purse.
wears
It's
one.
not a purse, bro.
So
But anyways, I do take it seriously.
yeah,
But at the same time, in my opinion, everyone overall is getting into hysteria. And the reason why, in my opinion, they're doing that is because the government is feeding that fear. Everyone, all they're doing is watching the news and all that shit. It's a fucking virus. What we do know is it's around 1% that get infected die. It is what it is. For me, this is where I'm coming from. I'm not speaking for them. I'm very hey, if someone's coming over to my place and I know who they are and I know that they haven't been hanging out with everyone and all that shit, but they're hanging out with my little circle, I'm good with that. I keep, that's what I'm doing. But I personally am not worried about this at all. If you get sick, you get sick. And that's another thing we want to talk about too. It's your fucking time to go. It's your fucking time to go.
Yeah.
Like I see a lot of people, and I'm not religion bashing or nothing, but I see a lot of people that are supposed to be like faith oriented, and I'm not just saying Christians, any religion, and they're like freaking losing their minds, dude. And I'm telling you, like, if you believe in a heaven or a higher power, why are you even tripping? Like, it is what it fucking is. Like, I don't get that at all. I'm not one of those people, and I'm not tripping. So, like, I don't get what, like, you're supposed to have your faith in your creator or whatever, or your God or whatever. Like, I don't understand why everyone's so freaked out about it. That's just where I come from. That's me personally. I'm speaking as Johnny Doe on the podcast. Like, just chill the fuck out, be smart, but at the same time, live your fucking life. Also, another thing I would like to say about that too is like, hey, if I'm gonna die, I'd rather fucking be hanging out with my boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where I come from it.
Yeah.
So,
I'm kind of a
hang on, before you go, I still wasn't finished. So getting back to what I was saying about how it's a hard divide, right, with a very few exceptions. The interesting thing that I'm finding is that the people that I know that are in the healthcare industry are the ones telling us that it's not as big as the media is playing it out to be. Now, they're not saying it's not a big deal. They are saying, though, that it is very much like a
And he's
flu.
not talking about like the talking heads of like press conferences.
No,
He's talking about
about people that I know,
they'll
my
work.
mother, my sister, people that I actually
same
know.
with me. I've
right?
heard from
Like they're like, just wash your hands. It's like a flu. Remember flu season? It's flu season. It happens every fucking year. Just don't. Yeah. Anyway, that's
what he's hearing.
So
that's what I'm hearing as well.
Most healthcare professionals that I know personally are saying not a big deal. I've heard one other this gal I know on Facebook. I don't know what she's going to school for something medical. I don't know what her thing is, but she's freaking out about it. So she's either given into the fear mongering, or she knows something that everyone else in the service industry that I know doesn't, which is very strange considering she's in school to have the job that they already have. I don't know, but I'm just saying everything kind of points to the people that I know that know are saying, yeah, just wash your fucking hands. It's really not that big of a deal. Now, is that saying that I'm going out and I'm breaking the quarantine because freedom, fuck you? No, I'm being responsible about it. I'm not going out if I don't have to. I'm not trying to be an asshole on purpose for no reason. Now, if this was a shut-in, I don't know. I would have.
Then I might be an asshole.
It would be you might find me out in the streets, but I'm just saying, like,
catch me outside. How about that?
Catch me outside. But it isn't. You know, this is something that
it's a soft quarantine.
It's a soft quarantine. It's not completely 100% mandatory. I suppose. I think I did say it was earlier. Maybe it isn't mandatory.
It's
but
mandatory for companies to scale down.
What I'm saying
workforce.
is if they made it illegal for me to go outside, I'd be fucking outside.
Same.
Because fuck that. You don't tell
100%.
me you can't do that. I don't care.
100%.
Greater good, fucking mankind, collectivism, fuck you. I don't do it. But it's like, I do believe in a greater good, though. Like, I do care for people. I'm not a complete dick all the time. Just because I like capitalism and I think people should pay for their own fucking healthcare doesn't mean that I want people to die. Jesus Christ.
Well, that's you know what I mean.
Kind of what the
that's
media
benevolence,
though,
but
right?
it's benevolence. Like you're trying to like. You give a shit because of who you are about other individuals, right? Like you do care. You don't want everyone to die. However, we're not talking collectivism where it's like you're forced to do whatever.
Yeah.
I try to be safe just because I don't want to bring something home to the people I love. That's right. That's the bottom line.
Is that not reasonable?
Which are 2 cats, but yeah,
I think that's
2
reasonable.
cats, my wife. You know, I see my mom every once in a while. She's, you know, I talked about her being in the hospital. I certainly don't want to be the one responsible for making her sick like that.
I haven't like even been going over to my folks' house as much. I went over there on St. Patrick's Day because my mom is Irish. We had to go do that. She invited me over for shots. Like my mom doesn't invite me over for shots. That was insane. So I had to go do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, but I mean, I'm staying away from them. You know, they don't come over here to visit me like they normally do because they just live a couple houses down. My family is even quarantining themselves, you know, and Valerie has been working here from home ever since she got the order to work from home. It's just, so she's been here for a week and a half now, too. You know, it's going on a couple of weeks.
So let me be clear, too. Like, the people that are, even if I made fun of any of that, however, anyone that is self-quarantining themselves, like, legit, like, yeah, I might say something funny about it, but I do respect it because it is their own personal responsibility to take care of their own safety.
Right.
So if that's what they feel is important, then, and same with you guys, like if you feel it's important to be shut in, I have no problem with that. Like you do that. I might say something and be funny about it, but I do respect it. I do
break your
ultimately
balls a little bit.
Yeah, sure,
But
but
I
I
mean-
do respect it because it is your safety.
It's all
You
love,
are
baby.
responsible.
It's all love, you know.
It goes with what we always talk about, dude. It's your responsibility for your own safety. You know what I mean? It's
Right,
not
absolutely.
nothing else to do with anybody else.
Don't depend on some entity to come help you, save you. 'Cause
Yeah.
And at the same notion, like we're always about don't trust your leaders. So I'm not really buying what they have to sell. So I'm listening to what the healthcare people are saying outside of the government doctors,
Like outside
and-
of the CDC.
right.
shit
I
like-
do listen
yeah.
to what they're saying too. Don't get me wrong.
I've
I
heard-
want to know what the state
Yes,
is saying,
absolutely.
the government. But
I
I
don't
also
have the same experience as you. I've seen a lot of posts of people saying that are in the healthcare profession, stay home. Stay home because we're out here taking care of people. You don't need to
Right, but that isn't
So everyone I've talked to in the medical professions, in one way or another, they're just like, it's like the flu season. You just wash your hands and like they're working. They're actually doing it, and that's what they have to do.
And I'd say generally during flu season, the best advice they probably give you is also to stay home. So it's almost like it's not any different than a flu season.
I won't even say this out loud, but
To me, it just seems like there is a lot of it's being blown up.
and there's others too. Like I can tell you who they are.
But
after,
If you're like Johnny said,
no, they are working.
if you're going to quarantine yourself and you're doing it voluntarily,
I don't want to throw his name out.
it's kind of what we're all about,
I
right?
know.
He's one of
If
the.
you
like,
want to
10.
do it and you think it's going to help you, by all means, you're not hurting anybody else.
Yeah.
You're trying to protect yourself.
Freedom. Do your shit.
Do what you want to do. Yeah, the quarantine thing is a really weird thing because it's like they're asking you to stay inside, right? They're not telling us yet. And while it's voluntary, I'm okay with it. But as soon as they flip that fucking switch, I have a problem.
It's voluntary to a degree because I've been listening to, like I was saying earlier, if you guys been listening, whoever's joined us, I'll fill them back in. I've been listening to the sheriff's department in our county, and they actually will respond to calls like, are they essential workers or not? So
Right.
I've heard that call many times go out.
Well, they say I don't know if anybody out there knows this or not, but they say that it's a misdemeanor if you get caught working and you're not a non-essential worker.
So I don't know how true that is. We definitely need to fact check.
I've
that.
actually heard that, but I've only heard it.
We
so
got
I
to
don't
fact
know.
check that because
Yeah.
that's big. Because I have actually seen Facebook posts of other police departments saying that absolutely not. They're not stopping people. They're not asking for ID for random people on the street. They're absolutely this is because it's fucking wrong.
Texas ain't doing any of this. And
I
they're
don't
one of the
think
biggest
Texas-
in
yeah.
Texas, you gotta remember they're one of the biggest populated states in our fucking country, and they're not doing any of this quarantine shit. So
Texas is like just fucking. Do you want to
Throwing it
get
out
out
there.
tequila with your lemonade? Like
just
hey,
throwing
fuck
it out there.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, the data will show. The data will show which state did it best. I guess.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I
like
mean? We
4 or
won't
5
know.
months from now we'll know everything, right?
Yep. And then we can all point our fingers back.
If
at who
we're
was the-
here.
yeah, who was the fucker that did whatever? Right. Let me catch up on the chat here.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, so we all wanted to, while he's looking at the chat real quick, we all wanted to come on here because we felt like it was important to like just show you guys like what we are doing during this time when like kind of I know everyone's bored. Like ultimately that's kind of what like, hey, it's like let's chat, let's talk. So Jamie's gonna catch up
Yeah.
on the chat
Yeah.
and talk.
So here are some numbers.
Let
Global
me turn this off.
global confirmed cases, 409,014 total deaths, or 18,246. Total recovery.
Does that help you at all? Is that a little easier?
It's about the same.
This is like a real time thing, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so let's see.
Yeah, Chris is reading off the stats. Start them again. Start them again.
Start
Read
again.
it real clear.
Globally confirmed cases, 409,014. Total deaths, 18,246. Total recovery, 106,593. Total cases in the U.S., 50,206. Total deaths, 600. The other news was the Olympics are postponing for a year due to the coronavirus outbreak.
So we got Jack in the chat. Thank you for reading those off.
no problem.
We got Jack in the chat. He says, Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's not martial law, so they're not going to be able to do anything about you just standing outside. And I understand that. And there's been a lot of rumors about martial law. People are getting all scared because they see all the military brigade equipment on rails and going through convoys and stuff. And it's like every press release that I've seen that talks about why the National Guard is in here doing anything is they're literally just helping hands. They're passing out food and water and necessities to people who need them. They're not. Yeah. They're not. It's not martial law. And if you guys,
it's humanitarian.
If you guys knew, like, I'm not trying to make fun of any branch of the military here. Maybe a little bit, but like if you knew how much of a joke the National Guard was to every other branch of the military, you would think that it was pretty funny that these are the people that are going to come and take your guns away. The memes of the PSA going out to all the Marines, like, guys, do not take the Coast Guard's guns when they come to try and take your guns.
So what I do know from inside information is I do know that the National Guard and the reserves have been activated to be on alert. Okay. So they're on standby.
I don't think the government will do it.
They're on. Well, that has nothing. I'm not talking about that part. But what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about the martial law or taking guns. What I'm saying is they're on standby to do what Jamie was saying.
Right.
Is to assist in like supplies and whatever, right? Or building medical facilities like temporary camps if they need them for.
Yeah, they're building 5 in New York right now as we speak. 5 hospitals.
And there was a bunch in California they're supposed to be building too.
Yeah, the Army Corps of Engineers is working on
right. So the reserves and what do you call it? National Guard are ready on standby for that. Some might have been activated already, but I don't know. But yeah, it's not like no martial law. It's not like we're having like a mandatory curfew of like dusk to dawn kind of shit, and you can't go out on the road.
There's not fucking military.
Like at the same. So on that note, now there's like it's still kind of a soft version of that.
Kind of like a trial.
maybe actually.
Kind of like a trial.
But it's just like without getting conspiracy theory.
Like in 30 days, if you don't cancel your subscription, we're gonna go ahead and charge you. That's what they're doing right now. Like we're on a 30-day trial plan for this apocalypse. In 30 days, if we decide to opt out, then we can opt out. If not, then it's full-scale apocalypse.
This is seriously not the way I thought the apocalypse was going down.
Yeah, this is the worst.
This is the worst apocalypse
ever.
Yeah, I agree.
I said.
Yeah. I just wanted zombies, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
Come on, coronavirus.
Yeah.
Dude,
it's not even the Taliban. Like, there's nothing, dude.
Do the zombie thing.
The screenshot for our fucking live stream is
legit.
So stupid.
It's fucking legit. Fuck you. That's legit.
It's funny.
We're all mask on. Snap.
Care, bro. It's funny.
It's funny.
Come at me, bro.
I'm just trying to keep up on the chat here.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I think you just gotta. You should always protect yourself. You know.
So I would say that.
But this is gonna. I mean, this is a kind of a wake up call for everybody. I think. You know, honestly, even after we get through, like say, like we go through this,
we get the all clear.
We get through. Everything's good. I mean, people need to. I mean, you saw how unprepared you were. You saw how poorly you manage your disaster relief funds at home. I mean,
you'd be surprised how many people have hit me up and another buddy of mine about different kinds of equipment.
Yeah, we all.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah. I mean, things like
I don't think I will.
Not you.
I know that.
Yeah.
But just that response.
Not you, but I just meant the general viewer.
Things as simple as knives or disinfectant or medical
glow sticks. Shout out to Andy.
Medical
episode 5.
Medical supplies. You know, antiseptic. These are all things that you should have in like a bag or something that's easily accessible that you only use during this time.
Jennifer, hi.
How big is your medical bag? Do you have a medical bag or any kit?
I have a couple. Yeah, so I have a couple little IFAKs that I use, which is a individual first aid kit, in case you didn't know. Otherwise, sorry for mansplaining that to you. Fucking liberal. I got one that goes on my combat belt, and I have one that goes in my backpack, and then I have another larger one that's made up all that those excess supplies we got from the first CPR training we did that I have in the trunk of my car.
Medical.
So I have a couple.
Yeah, it wasn't even CPR; it's a whole thing.
It was a lot.
It's like a general thing. Yeah. So me and Jamie were involved with another group a while back where we were training with like medical stuff. So it's pretty cool. Like we got like a couple handout like free shit. The guy like gave us a bunch of shit. Like I have an EMT bag that's like seriously like this big. It's full.
Yeah.
And then I have other kits on my stuff too. But
I
mean,
EMT training.
that's good. I didn't know that. But the best thing is have basic medical supplies for you and a few others, just so you know that you can treat a few people. And obviously your boo-boo kit kind of thing too.
Mm-hmm.
And then your like blowout kit or your blast kit, you get shot stab type thing. And then I would say what I've done and what a lot of people don't do is I do the cold kit. So I'll have like the Campbell's chicken noodle, the fucking cough syrup, all that shit. Like I have.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so it's like a separate level. So see, this is before all this nonsense is going on. So I'd always have your like battle kit kind of shit, your boo-boo kit kind of stuff, and then your cold kit stuff. And I have all that stuff. I'm good on all that shit. Like I'm locked down. Maybe a few more tissues. I may have used them. They were happy tissues.
Happy tissues.
So I may have used those up. So I need to triple up on those. Quadruple up on those.
Yeah. Never hurts to have extra tissues. So I have
stole that from forgetting Sarah
two
Marshall.
kits. They're about this big that easily fit in our packs.
Good.
So we have those, and then I bought extra supplies like gauze and bandages and antiseptic and iodine. Like those are all part of my bag.
Right.
And then I have like the ibuprofen and like those kinds of things also.
Right.
But
so wait, real quick on the ibuprofen thing. So I saw an article go out, and a couple of people that are fear mongering are posting this, and these are from legit. If you're going with mainstream news, legit sources, and they're like, "Oh, a nurse allegedly in France said that ibuprofen's making it worse." You read the article, you go through the whole fucking article, and it says she said, and there's no scientific fucking proof that that's even true. So they released a whole thing on Channel 2 News in the local area.
Fucking
a real news source.
Yeah.
But then you go read the whole thing, and I even screenshot it and posted it in the comment, and I'm like,
you know what?
So this whole thing from a so-called legit news source is saying that. I'm like, go fuck yourselves. So you can't trust what you're reading on.
I've been seeing a lot of like conspiracy theory stuff.
Even on the mainstream, right?
Yeah,
like it's just fucking stupid.
Like so apparently G5 is causing G5 can suck the oxygen out of the air and make you feel like you're like you have a dry cough, and they're saying that it's actually what's killing people, not the coronavirus.
I just usually fly around on my G6.
So yeah, G5 60 megahertz is killing people. I mean that's what the kind of like misinformation.
I like too that. Remember I was picking on religion for a second. Well, I'm gonna pick on a different thing. You drink and you smoke all the fucking time, and you're worried about this shit. Get the fuck out of here.
I already know I'm at an accelerated risk because I'm a smoker.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about that. And I just mean in general. Like you drink and you smoke and you eat Cheetos and drink Dr. Pepper all day long at McDonald's.
All that shit.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
but that Corona's gonna get you.
The Coronas.
That's what it got me.
Yeah,
the Corona.
Like, calm down.
I still don't want it.
It wasn't.
I'm not saying that.
It wasn't my high blood pressure.
But I'm just like, dude, you eat like
cholesterol.
shit. I'm not saying you, Chris.
No,
you like took it personal.
Like, I'm super guilty right now. Like, fuck, I'm convicted.
But it's like, dude, you live your life like that. It's like it is what it is, bro.
I'm a smoker.
Yeah.
I technically have asthma. I was diagnosed with it as a child. I haven't needed an inhaler in 15 years, 20 years, something like that. But it's been a long time. But still, those are two things that put me at a higher risk. Now, here's the thing. There's also people that are saying that this outbreak actually started all the way back in November.
Right.
Which means that
November 17th is where they tracked it back to.
I already fucking had this then.
Mm-hmm.
I already had this.
Right.
Yeah, Bianca is like, see, I'm like Bianca. I'm like, I'll eat junk food.
I'd have a dart.
And somebody offers me a flu vaccine. I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
No way. There's way too many carcinogens in that fucking shot.
Totally. All worried about that shit. But I'm just saying, like, it's funny how people that freak out and they treat their life like shit, which I'm guilty of too. I'm not even like, I'm like, that is true. Like, I eat shit food. I do all this. So I'm not worried about it. Like, I'm just enjoying my fucking life. When it's time to go, it's fucking time to go.
That's
like,
it.
Calm the
I want to
fuck
say here. So
down.
Bianca, yeah, like I'm not trying to say you're a hypocrite or whatever because you eat McDonald's. All I'm saying is that like
I ate
you
McDonald's
have
the
to
other day.
like to the people that are overly hyped about this stuff.
Right.
Like look at their life decisions and think like is blowing up this fear mongering virus thing like is that what they need to be focused on or should they maybe like buy a treadmill? You know what I mean?
That's called wordplay.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like I get that. This is something that like shouldn't be taken lightly, but it's not something that needs to be like. This is not really an apocalypse, guys. There's a reason why.
What I'm trying to say is y'all niggas are fat.
You know what's funny is people
Right there.
people with
sorry, you got the air ball. Oh shit!
seriously, like
Shout out to Kenny. Did you drop something? Oh, it's your notebook.
Man. Yeah, so it's like
Yeah, I think
she's all dead.
like I think the way that people are acting is like if you step out of your house and breathe the air,
Oh,
you're gonna die.
Okay, wait a minute. So you guys have all, and you guys too, have you guys seen these posts from these fucking celebrities? I know Schwarzenegger's one of them, where they're like, "Don't leave your house," blah blah blah, and they're just like shaming you. They take their bully pulpit or their celebrity pulpit, and then they're just like, "Don't leave your house" and all this shit.
only
Dude,
one
there's
I've
a
seen-
bunch of them, bro.
I saw the one that Simon Pegg.
There's a bunch of
and
models doing
his
it too.
partner
Like,
did.
hey, don't leave your house. You'll be responsible. Like,
Yeah.
what the
Well,
fuck, dude?
if we had
How do
money-
you get food
If
if
we
you don't
had
leave your
money,
house?
we wouldn't have to leave the fucking house. We could like order food, you know.
Right.
But we
Yeah.
don't have that. Not all of us have that.
Not
fucking
all of us have that luxury.
Uber Eats ain't coming to my fucking block, bro.
They get
Yeah.
clapped up.
Yeah. so- whenever I hear like
You're just driving. You're like, cut.
not on this block.
Southside, motherfucker.
Fuck out of
What
here.
up? Sorry. What were you saying?
What was I saying?
I don't know.
I have no idea, dude. I have no
It
idea.
wasn't as important as shooting up a fucking Uber Eats.
No.
Which we do
Well,
not advocate.
Yeah,
by the way.
no, we're joking.
Just the celebrity worship and people, and like
Oh,
they
yeah.
feel like they have so much power, they can get us to do anything.
Right, and they're so smart or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
no, you're not smart.
you're not,
You're not
yeah,
smart.
no.
You're not smart at all.
Yeah.
Actually.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, I fucked him.
Yeah. Why are you getting fucking nasty? It will all be okay, Bianca. You're right. You know,
In the long run, it will
Yeah.
be. People are going to lose their life. So, so let's be serious again. People are going to lose their life during any flu season.
I read the
But
numbers,
yeah, exactly.
know?
You went through all the stats,
People are gonna die,
and it's going to get worse. Even if it's even if it does slow down, like they do slow the curve, right? It's still going to be people to die. It's just you. My point was you can't live your life in fear, and why would you want to? You should be paranoid in the sense of
I mean, you can
like
but,
I should wash my fucking hands
yeah,
and try to stay away from just crowds and shit. But
yeah, and you know they say that okay, so it's transmitted through droplets that are in your breath as you breathe. Up to 6 feet, it can easily.
Yeah, guys, it's
so
a
in old school
respiratory
is
disease.
all I
If
heard.
you breathe it in, it's gonna get in. But if you ingest it, it's gonna die because the proteins can't survive your stomach. The acid
Yeah,
in your
it's a
stomach.
respiratory illness.
So what he's saying is swallow.
So you get it like you breathe it in and then you get infected with the virus, and it's a dry cough. And the reason why it's a dry cough is because the phlegm is so thick that you can't expel it, and it starts to harden is the problem, and you can't get tubes down your throat to give you air, and that's what you essentially die of. You suffocate to death. So that's not something
Asphyxiation, folks.
that's not something I want.
I don't know, but when you get close to that point, you jerk it. It like helps. I hear.
Yeah.
with one hand, could have just jerked it.
That's as good for me as it was you.
We got okay. So Jennifer,
We're making light of things.
Jen is saying she used DoorDash and it's still
There you
there.
go.
All right,
Yeah.
and she got Panda Express and it was amazing. Yeah, see, like I've used my fucking weed delivery service down here, and like that dude still shows up.
There you go.
Hey, but he's essential.
Yeah. Just saying. And you like how all the businesses have had to.
Because his hands are cold.
It's cold, Bianca.
Gloves?
Yeah,
I
it's
would be
outside.
wearing gloves out here too.
Seriously,
It's
I wanna
cold
wear
out
my-
here. I'm chilly. I get cold real
We're
fast.
outside.
it's
We're the rain is right here.
like it's
beyond the screen.
overcast.
Yeah.
and
Like we're
sprinkling.
talking less than a yardstick away from behind the camera.
Is where the overhang
Is
ends,
the
and then it's the backyard. So
It's like
we have a nice view.
Yeah, we do.
Do you like how the natural light just completely washes out my forehead? I love it.
I think
My
that
giant
gloves
forehead.
wouldn't be the only question. Why am I wearing sunglasses? Because there's like.
Yeah, it is kind of bright. I'm bearing it. I'm
And if you
trying.
guys missed the beginning of the show, we all have our Coronas.
We're protected.
Yeah, see, let's just do that because for a little bit. This is how we came on. So if you guys didn't see us in the beginning, this is how we came on. We're reporting to you guys live from the apocalypse. The apocalypse. Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta put this on.
Sunglasses and hood, Jamie. Come on now. Y'all have hoods.
There it is.
Y'all have hoods, bro. Get it. Hey, you don't have a hood. Oh, you do. It's a gray one.
He's wearing it.
Aw,
He put
that's
his thing over
cute.
it.
It's great.
Except for that this fogs up my sunglasses.
Yeah,
and I
when you
can't-
breathe,
yeah,
so
I
you
can't.
don't breathe. You just have to
Yeah,
hold your breath.
that's
Oh
it.
yeah, good.
The whole time.
That's where the Corona is.
Breathe
by the
out
way.
your mouth for the Coronas.
It's on your fucking glasses.
So yeah, you asked about gloves, but now the
Now
gloves
what?
aren't the question.
Now what? Man, don't make me get crazy.
Yeah,
up
look at
in
this.
here.
Shout-
Oh, get crazy.
Yeah, shout out to Steven.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, he's clearing his block.
What do we got? So it's Valerie.
Uber Eats.
Valerie says Valerie is smart inside with the heat.
Yeah, see?
She's got it figured out.
She's inside with the yeet.
Well, we're so altruistic that we just decided to do this video.
Yeah.
We're sacrificing our own.
Just checking
yeah.
in with you guys.
We're
showing
sacrificing
you
our
guys that we're good.
We're bringing
our own safety to broadcast to you guys because you're bored.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, then we miss you guys, man.
we're
This
bored
is like
too.
we're bored too. So
Sure.
it is what it is. So this is one of those things. We have voluntarily decided to meet up with one another because we all know that we don't hang out right now with a whole lot of other people. So
What up?
Yeah.
we verified this to be safe, right? We're doing it voluntarily. We're not breaking any laws. We're not going to go out to the supermarket or go to a fuck. I'm not going to go to the ball pit
I've
later.
been to the
you know,
supermarket 3 times because I have to. You have
okay.
to.
So I have been to the supermarket a couple times as well, and I beeline
Yeah, I
right
go
for the
every
B
day.
aisle or the beer aisle, which is the B aisle. That's what I call it, and I go back in to the front.
I go to the store every day.
What do you have here?
That is a miniature vape.
Is this a marijuana delivery system?
Yes.
Day
Fabulous.
number 9
Delivery.
during the apocalypse. Filming a fucking podcast right now with my boys. Room 86.
He's doing a live video
Yeah.
on a live video.
Yeah.
This is live video
Yeah, this
session
is
right
what
now.
we
folks.
do.
If you do it just
So
right,
yeah,
you
What
can
day
watch
is
we're
this.
right now in the middle.
In
Day
real
number
time.
9 of the
This is
apocalypse.
day
in real
number
time.
9? Oh, I thought we were
Yeah.
on day 8.
Oh, nice. Thank you,
Day
sweetheart.
number 9 of the apocalypse.
So I've been doing apocalypse videos. So.
Jack says he saw you.
Oh,
He's on. Hi, Val. I seen you.
So we're just having fun, just giving you some information.
When this shit is over, we're coming down. Yeah, fuck yeah, Jack.
Yeah.
You got to come down, man.
Damn.
You guys have already seen the place, but I mean, yeah, you guys are always welcome, man. Okay, so there was a couple other things I wanted to get into while we are on the talking points, okay?
Number 9.
So-
Sorry, I'm posting.
The
Go ahead.
one that you brought up actually is one that I'd like to kind of get into here.
Yep.
Showing their true colors during this pandemic like this.
Oh yeah.
So what we're seeing is a lot of people that are supposedly libertarian, supposedly anarchist, whatever, and you're seeing these people fucking turn on a dime and
To the state.
tell
To the government.
other people that the fucking state should be doing something to help the situation. You can't claim to be an anarchist and then demand help from the fucking state. That's not how it works. So we just want to sort of talk about that. How many of you have seen people?
So
like-
before we get into any kind of answers or any kind of things like that, how many people have seen like so-called conservatives, 3%ers, libertarians ANCAPs, any of them. Like, how many of you guys seen any freedom or even independents that claim that they don't,
that are freedom
Yeah,
oriented,
yeah.
right?
that all go on the whole bandwagon about, oh, we don't need government to do this, that, and the other thing, and now they're all of a sudden like, oh, Gavin Newsom's a cool guy.
How quick are they all
Trump is my hero.
fucking blowing each other? All
Cuomo's
of
my
them.
daddy.
Right? Yeah. Are you my dad?
They're just all fucking blowing each other, dude. It is what it is. It's like it's a fucking it's
just
stupid.
It's celebrity worship, but politician worship is what it is. I mean, they worship their leaders, you know.
Right.
And
Well, it's not.
heroes.
I see that. Well, okay. So what I'm seeing, especially from a lot of my more liberal friends on like social
Well, they're
media,
different, but yeah.
is like they're demanding the state do something. It's like they're demanding it. Like I can't.
Right.
The gravity of it is so insane to me. They're just like, this is what you are here to do. Do your job, kind of a thing. And I'm like, yo, like the less he
thing
does.
is about that though is that they do that with everything, right? Like, so they're the ones that demand the health care. They demand that guns get taken away. They demand, like they
always demand
They are the
legislation.
same. So that fits with their like the way that they are.
Yeah.
Well, first off, we're all indoctrinated. We all went through the school system together, so we're already told to depend on authority for the answers. And then now that we have that, I mean, the authority is throwing money at us, you know.
Well, that's why I said
and the other
in the
thing is-
apocalypse, taxation is still theft.
yeah.
So that's what I've been saying. It's still theft.
So
It doesn't matter if it's apocalypse or not.
they don't give us an option to opt out, so we have to pay for these services and stuff. And so people are already trained to think, okay, the government's stuck in the government or their leaders giving them the answers. They can't see outside of that. Even people who are.
So before you continue, I'm sorry, you got a quick shout out here. Somebody looks like they know you. They're independently blind. They say, "What up, Chris? This is Jason Smith in Fresno, California."
Hey Jay, what's up, man? Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. Miss you, man.
So Jennifer brought up something. She says, "How about this? People asking for their school loans to be lessened or whatnot during the apocalypse. Like it has nothing to do with anything right now. But people are coming out being like, student debt, and you're like, what the fuck? Why?
First off, I thought we're all dying over here. So
Yeah.
like it's just funny the way that they bring up everything. They're already trying. We posted a few. I think we posted a few things about it. At least one about like they were trying to push a gun bill through during this time. It's just like
I saw that one too. It was fuck. It did. I don't know if it's. I didn't pay enough attention.
But the bottom line is that like when any kind of crisis, this could be a terrorist attack,
It's a big money grab.
a pandemic, any kind of thing that happens, economic crisis, anything that happens, they always are going to ram through fucking legislation to fucking control you. They have nothing to do with it.
Yeah. You watch
Because you're watching over here, and then they're going to slide around and do whatever.
So the government wants to.
I'll get to you, Jack. Just I'm not passing you up. I'll get to you.
The government wants to give us $2 trillion as a stimulus package
Jesus.
to bail out what the oncoming
We're 23
depression, basically.
depression, yeah.
We're $23 trillion in debt.
Yeah.
That money doesn't even exist.
So
And now they want
$2
more.
trillion more going to family of four. You get $3,000 if your job was affected. $1,000 for every person, see a lot of this money is going to research and
You
development.
can't get bailouts if you don't pay taxes.
A lot of it goes to research and development and in helping. Like the government can't get all these resources to people, so they enlist the help of these nonprofit organizations. So you're going to see like tons of nonprofit organizations popping up because there's $2 trillion. It's just a big money grab.
And it's just like when Haiti happened. Remember all those different ones that popped up, and then it's like 90% of those didn't even go to where it was. Like of all the ones that popped up, it was like 90 or 80% of that. All the proceeds didn't even go to where they were going to go.
So
Fucking smoke and mirrors,
yeah.
baby.
So suspending mortgage, that's already happening, and that's because of the market, not because of government intervention, but because these mortgage brokerages know that we're going to be under some stress, so you can defer your mortgage payments in some states. I'm not sure what states those are. I know in California.
Well, so that's a two-part
Right,
question, right?
right.
Because he said,
Yeah, I'm going to get to the second part right now.
Yeah.
So the second part of his statement was renters have to pay. Well, that's fine. I'm willing to pay because I'm a renter. I don't want to lose my place. But again, the company I rent from is doing a deferment also. So why not take advantage of that? And that's from the market.
Sure.
That has nothing to do with government.
That's nothing to do with it.
Absolutely
Now
the market.
But what is forcing those landlords to comply with that?
Well, I mean, how are you going to evict 300 tenants from your property who can't pay?
If they're not going to pay me, why would I keep them there?
Well, how are you going to get rid of them?
I would tell them to.
It's going to take at least 90 days to get them out of there.
Sure. Well, you have to give them an eviction notice.
Well,
right?
so what if they say, "Well, don't kick me out. I can pay you next month," instead of
look, I'm a
human
being. I would work with them.
I think that almost every single place
are.
is going to work with whoever they are. I do not have the luxury of that. I rent from a private individual, so I get no bailouts. I get no nothing, and the government shut my job down. So I got fucked by the government, and I got fucked by the government, like always.
Yeah. And Corey says the eviction process is held up right now. That's the government blocking people from kicking people out. I mean,
I get it.
I hate to depend on the government, but you can't be strong arming people. Somebody's got to intervene.
Oh, see, the status comes out.
No. I didn't say government. I didn't say government.
So look, back to the chat here. So that's what Jen says. That's what I'm saying. You got to pay more the next month. I understand that, and from what you're saying too, because you're not working. Like, how possibly would you have more money the next month if you're not generating any revenue? I get it. It's ridiculous. But hopefully you plan for this. I don't know. Like, hopefully you have something saved up somewhere. There's someone you can talk to.
And use this as a learning lesson, too. Like what Chris was saying earlier. Like, now that we've already been through this, like, start planning more for it. So we only, as Grim 86, we've only touched on this. Yeah. We've only touched on this in the past because we were just having fun. But we did talk a little bit about prepping and things like that. Yeah. We didn't think it was going to be that serious that quick. But, I mean, like, yeah, you should always be prepared. So, however, everything that's happened, now prepare and plan, right? And we're going to talk about, in a minute, we're going to talk about the difference between, you guys have all seen the memes and you've all experienced the hoarding. Right. And accusing preppers and hoarders and all that stuff. We're going to get into that in a minute.
So I want to wrap up what I have to say about this whole thing. This is going to sound very insensitive to a lot of my friends who are in bad spots right now.
AA doesn't work.
What's that? AA doesn't work? No, I just mean,
not for Johnny anyway.
Not for me. I broke the seal during the apocalypse.
There's no, in my opinion, in this one man's humble opinion, if you find yourself out of work and you're asking the state to make your landlord stop charging you rent, that is still statism. You're still asking the state to provide a service for you that you can't provide by yourself, which means you are not utilizing individualism, which enables you to take care of yourself and that you are your own last line of defense. I understand that this sounds very heartless, right? Yeah, Johnny's just said over there. It sounds heartless, but it's a principle that I believe in. I happen to have gotten very lucky in the situation that I'm in, but I don't think I'd be singing a different tune even if I didn't. And it's because this is actually what I believe in. This is not just a show that I like to do purely for fun. These are the things that we teach you guys, that we're trying to teach you.
These are our principles. These are things that we live every day.
Yeah, this is something that I believe in, and this is something that I wish to perpetuate, right? So I don't think that anyone should be asking the state for any type of assistance. Now, we were all lucky that we were supposedly going to get this $1,000 stimulus package, and everyone's looking at guys that talk like us, like, oh, you're gonna take your fucking socialism check right now, and I'm like, bitch, I didn't fucking ask anybody for that. If the government wants to send me a fucking check,
Yeah,
I'm
they want to
cashing
give me
that
my
shit.
money back. I'm taking it.
I'm cashing that shit.
They stole it from you in the first
I already
place, right?
fucking paid it to them.
Yeah,
They're just
that's
giving
my
me a
money.
little bit of it back.
So I will not
And then-
personally. I will not be taking any money, even if I'm eligible or not. I don't think I even would be. But however, I will not take money from them personally. That's my position. However, if these guys want to do that, I don't have even a problem with that because their money's being stolen from them every single day. So I don't have a fucking problem with that.
So
I don't either.
piggybacking off of that, before we get into the nitty gritty,
Just to say
did
where
you
I'm-
see? Did you see the? No, thank you.
Yeah.
We need that. Did you see what Corey and Bianca asked?
Negative.
They asked you if you plan on filing for unemployment.
Negative. Will not do that.
I didn't think so
No.
either, but I'm just saying.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's so. I have filed for unemployment. I've been on unemployment 2 times. I think I have.
So what? I'm not Saint Johnny. I know people joke about that all the time, but I try as much as I can. I do rely on a few individuals to help me out here and there when I am hurting and shit like that. When things like this are happening, I do have a couple cool people that will help me out. But I'm like punk rock as fuck. I try to live it like as simple as possible life. Like when I have a little abundance of money, I actually put the money into preps more than anything else.
You do a lot, actually.
Yeah.
A lot.
People are tripping out. Like they come over and they're just like, "Oh, you have stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't have much money to live on. I don't need it." But what I'm saying is, I do try to practice what I preach. I believe 100% in the philosophy that I've developed and come to realize with like the self-ownership, the individualism, the voluntarism, non-aggression principle. I pretty much try to live that like 99% of my fucking life. It's possible to do it 100%, but I try to go by that. Like, that's just the way I am. That's me personally. Like, so if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. There is no gray area for me.
So Jack, he said you're not wrong, but he says no one's interviewing either, and that's another big like predicament.
So I beg to differ. So yes, probably Jack is correct on the grand scheme of things. However,
he's a very niche market that he is.
Okay, for his position.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
So I do know a
He
couple
can do
people
anything
that have
that we can
been
do.
interviewed,
Yeah.
and actually one person that's being interviewed this week. It is via phone. So obviously, whatever the circumstances are dictating in the real world, in the theater of what's happening right now, then that is what's happening,
like that.
right? But at the same time, like the free market and the quasi free market will kind of like figure ways to work around it. Like we were talking about the strip clubs delivering food.
I got approached by a headhunter like 2 days ago.
There you go.
Yeah. So the reason why
How are those cannibals doing?
the reason why I see this being a problem for Jack
They're
is because
terrible.
They're fucking animals.
They're fucking terrible.
he's
It's my island, bro.
Jack is very, very valuable in a very specific market because he's worked for a very long time in that market. It has to do with the gaming industry. He's a fraud analytics specialist. He's been a fraud like account manager for different places and whatnot. But he is really good at a very specific job that is in a very specific niche industry.
That's badass, Jack. Good shit.
Yeah, fucking awesome. By the way, congrats on that.
Yep.
I mean, for him to go out and get a
But
job that like I could do
Right.
would be like
Well,
he would be
yeah.
able to afford to live where
Sure.
he lives. You know what I mean? He lives here. I
Right.
live here.
Right,
you know,
right.
kind of a thing. So it is what it
No,
is.
I understand that, but generally speaking, he is right. There's way less of that stuff going on, but it is happening. It is happening.
Yeah.
Bianca,
People are still. There's still companies still
I
operating.
talk to a lot of people every day.
Yeah.
It's principle. He's not. She's asking why you're not going to try for unemployment.
Principle.
Yeah, it's pure
Philosophy. I
principle.
felt like I covered that, but yeah, I mean, just to reiterate, like, so I believe in the non-aggression principle. I believe in self-ownership. Number one, I believe in voluntarism. All taxation is theft. Like, I will not, unless I have to absolutely, for some crazy reason, that's why I said 99% use a government service, then I will. You know what I mean? But I try to opt out of all of that because of the principle of the matter is all government is force.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty true to it. Like I am. Like
Bianca,
I try to be.
So unemployment is, yes, you do pay into your own unemployment, but you pay into everyone's unemployment. So as far as I know,
no, it is.
that is
Socialism.
one
You
of the
pay
more
into a
socialist
pot,
metrics.
right? So whatever government project that you're talking about, whether it's healthcare or unemployment or anything, you pay into a pot by force. You have a gun. You have
You don't,
This guy pointed
you don't
at your
get to
head.
Opt out.
And then you don't get to opt out of it. It gets put into there. That's why we say taxation is theft, which is actually more accurate, is what we've talked about before, is taxation is robbery. And
coerced by force.
Yeah, and then it's coercion. It's not voluntary. So that's where we come from. That's what the Grim 86 podcast is all about.
You do pay your own EDD.
Yeah.
So,
but
okay, so
but
that's
it goes into a collective controlled by the government.
Social Security, anything we're talking about is all fucking socialism.
so it gets paid into a collective,
Mhm.
right? And so even if I paid, so there's a $10 million in this pot, and I paid $1 into it, I don't have $10 million in my pot.
Mhm.
That's why we don't like it, is because it's not equal. Now, I know I've paid well over the fucking $1,000 they're gonna try and maybe give me. Anyway, that we might get $1,000. So yeah, I don't have any moral qualms or philosophical qualms with cashing that check. Me personally.
Yeah, and that's why I said.
Yeah.
That's why I made it very clear real quick. Like, if these two guys want to take it, then they can take it. I will not be doing that. That's not how I am.
Yep. Well, I've been pretty good about saving money, so I'm not really worried about that. What I am worried about is more than anything is people getting crazy. Like,
Yeah.
Well, that's where I come in.
doing something like that's way beyond
Yeah.
what is necessary. You know, taking somebody's life into their hands. That's just not okay with me.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's what I'm most worried about.
Like, while y'all are prepping your fucking toilet paper and bottled water,
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
I
what the
got
fuck's that gonna
ammo
do?
and fucking mags, bro. Like, I'm fucking good for that shit.
Yeah.
And food. So, I mean, I'm good.
I heard there's people running out of toilet paper.
I get updates from
Oh my
one of my
God,
buddies that fucking works at Costco, and he's like, dude, as soon as they get their load, they're just getting
Never
ran over.
ending.
Check this out. Okay, so Bianca is coming back with some good stuff here.
Sure.
She says, I understand it totally. I do. I do it all. I do it all with my dad's company. But I guess if I needed that money, I would file like I would before if I went to go live on the tent inside of 101, right? She says, so I guess, Johnny, how far are you willing to defend those principles? So I think what she's saying, if you were going to be homeless without that $1,000 check from Papa Trump,
I can't
what would you
really
do?
answer
What would you
that
do?
question on the airways.
okay. All right, so catch me in the DMs. We'll figure it out.
Catch me outside. How about that?
There's a lot of extenuating circumstances that might allow an individual to not have to worry about financing.
But I don't, like, real
We
quick,
don't need to-
but like at the
into
same
that.
time, let me like say one more real fast time. Once again, I'm not like, you can be included in these two guys. Like, I have no problem with you taking back the money that's been stolen from you.
Mhm.
Like, I don't have a problem with that. I personally will not do that.
I was homeless for 2 months. Slept in my car.
Let me
finish
let me say this, just because I think I know where you're going with this, but I'm going to say some of us might have had more stolen from us than others.
Mhm.
And so therefore some of us might not want to try to cash in on other people's money who's been stolen. Was that vague enough?
It's pretty good.
That was pretty
I
good.
like it. I like it.
Yeah, I was homeless for 2 months. I slept in my car.
I know quite a few people, including you,
Yeah.
that
And I didn't ask for help.
Take anything, yeah.
I just kept working.
I read a story recently, and this is 100% reason why I'll take that check if they give it. Bill Gates was in an interview, and a woman asked him, like, what's the secret to your success? What's the secret to your millions, or to your billions or trillions? Actually, he's a trillionaire, or he was. Anyway.
before this.
Yeah, before this, he was.
Sure.
Well, then he sold all his stuff. Anyway, and he takes out his checkbook, and he goes, look, I'm going to show you. He goes, just write, here's a blank check, write any number you want on this check. I'm good for it. Write any number on here. And she goes, I really just kind of want to get back to the question. He goes, I'm going to answer your question right after you fill out this check.
You can't
back and forth.
Right.
She says, I'm just not comfortable with it. Okay. He takes the checkbook from her and he says, that's a secret to my success. I would have filled out that check. I take every opportunity that's given to me. And that was the moral of his story.
Nice.
He takes every opportunity that's given to him without hesitation, and it moves him forward. Now, it's not black and white for me. If I'm running over people, I'm stomping on other people, I'm hurting other people to get where I need to go, I'm probably not going to do. But shit, someone's got a cool
All right,
brand in their hand.
so
They want to give it to
let
me.
me add a little element to this that most of y'all probably are not thinking about, like in my opinion. So if everyone now, I hate the government, obviously, like I started this podcast, like everyone knows that. However, I do like the country because America is America, right? Now, what I would say is if everyone's taking all these handouts and stuff, we're already $23 trillion in debt. Now we're acting on what, 2 more trillion is what you're saying? So now, like, just say we're $30 trillion in debt as a country by the end of this shit. There ain't gonna be no more America.
It's not.
Like, think about the economy, think about the world economy, think about everything that's happened and that's happening. Like, how are we supposed to function? Yeah, I missed you.
That'll never happen again. See how it landed?
Oh, damn.
Nice.
It landed straight up.
Standing
Yeah,
up.
okay,
Yeah.
you put it there. But do you see what I'm saying? Like everyone taking handouts and stuff, it's gonna fucking affect the whole country. So, like, for the statist people, the people that believe in the government and all that stuff, it's like you are taking from it, but if you don't have to, you probably shouldn't because we're fucked.
Damn, Jack.
I mean, look at the economy, dude.
What would you do with that 7,000 if it was in your bank account?
Fucking whatever the fuck he wanted.
Does that feel like theft?
Guns. No, I'm kidding.
Does that feel like you're paying your fair share?
I know a bunch of people that are like, if I get my tax return,
he's
I'm
not.
buying guns.
He's not like. He's on our side. Like, just
Yeah.
FYI. Like, it's not
Yeah. No, but I'm saying, like,
for the most part.
Yeah.
We disagree on
Yeah.
things, but it is what it is.
Yeah, like I
that's a
said,
lot-
I'm not
that's a lot
judging
of
anyone
money.
for
No, no.
doing it. I'm just saying, think about other ends of
And
this.
I wasn't saying, dude, that doesn't feel like I'm like a contribution out of good moral value. It's more like they had to force that out of me in order for me to pay it. Like they had to threaten me with some kind of forced prison, murder, whatever they're going to do to me to get that money. I mean,
You know
how,
what?
how
Like,
else would they get that money out of my pocket?
If they just made all this voluntary, like we've been saying from the very beginning, all you gotta do, all right, like don't even change anything. Just put check boxes. All right.
and then what you do? Check this out. This is just a joke. I don't actually agree with this. Like whenever you opt into like a public service, like I don't know, like fucking Medicare or your unemployment or like I don't know the fucking roads or whatever they want to tax you on, right? All the things that you get taxed for, break them down and make them transparent so you can see actually where all the money goes to, and then you make that voluntary whenever you sign up for a job. You go through and you can check off the boxes of stuff that you want to give some of your fucking paycheck to, and then what happens is if you don't select any of them,
You keep all your money.
you get your picture gets put up somewhere, right? So you get all your money, but then all the liberals get to be like, this guy's a fucking piece of shit. At least it's not
He
state
didn't
run,
pay his
right?
fair share.
At least it's society ostracizing society, and that's how you make change. Fucking that would be a stateless socialism change right there.
Yep.
You force people to donate their revenue from their paychecks, but you make it voluntary, right?
Cheers to any of y'all. Hey, cheers to any of y'all niggas that are living off of principles. I am.
Hey, if they just made it voluntary and they left out the whole shaming, if you didn't want to pay it, I'd be into it.
Yeah, that'd be a government we haven't seen before.
I would willingly pay for some other people's shit.
Well,
Sometimes.
that's the argument that goes back into what we were always talking about, right? Like if it was voluntary, it's a different thing.
That's we were trying to talk about this earlier, and I think the fundamental issue that people have with minds that think that like we do is they don't understand that we're not willing to help people at our own expense as long as it is voluntary. And I don't want to do it for fucking everybody. I only want to do it for the people that I give a shit about, all right? Or I want to be able to pick the people that I can care for.
And if as the individual you wanted to help out other people, you could do that as well.
Absolutely.
That would be up to
It's
you.
fucking
voluntary.
Individualism and the free market solve
Everything.
Yeah.
Bianca wants to know how the taxes started. They were started by a tyrant who got together with a bunch of other people who decided to make a rule that you have to pay X amount of money out of your wages to use the land or to fix your roads. That's where that money.
The medieval kind of shit,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
pre that too.
Yeah. I mean, kings have always taxed their people. You know.
Yeah, you take people's money by force and their earnings by force,
Right.
and then you say it's for the greater good. But usually, what it is they use like 1% of that for what they actually are using it for,
Right.
and then the rest of it all goes into their pockets and does whatever they want.
Like I said, it's a big money grab. Like these guys, they know what they're doing. They're gonna. It's just like Bush with his building contracts. Now we have COVID-19, and the government's going to pour. Instead of billions this time, it's going to be trillions, and the top 1% are going to create their nonprofit organizations.
So I want to add something kind of on a slightly side note is that like a lot of people go like, why did you become a libertarian and all that stuff? And I always say I trace it back to when I really kicked off being a libertarian. That like planted the seed was when Bush did the whole Patriot Act thing. And I'm going to tell you right now that this.
Because you were a conservative back then.
Yes. This right now feels the most like that that I've ever felt before or prior, since, post, whatever. Like this is the closest thing at this current
to
point
9/11.
to 9/11
Yeah.
with the Patriot Act. And I'm telling you right now, the people that talk about freedom and liberty don't believe in freedom and liberty when I'm talking about politicians. They're fucking lying to you, and that's why I can't get behind this whole thing.
It's
Be
because
smart, but like be safe, be sanitary,
They're all
but
crooked.
like be smart. They're trying to control you, and don't think one last thing. Do not think for a second that anything that they pass now that they won't do again 10 times full. So it's like whatever the fuck they're doing right now, it's going to be way worse in the future, and some of these things might even stick forever. That's how the Patriot Act was. That's how these fucking government pieces of shit operate.
Patriot Act still never got lifted.
Nope.
It's still well in
They
effect
fucking
today.
renewed that
Yeah,
shit
they
even under
renewed it.
Obama,
They
dude.
renewed it.
You fucking kidding me?
Well, I mean, they're the way they control us and how they watch our movements and our phones and all that stuff.
I
man.
usually do 2 to 3 movements a day.
I'm around.
Yeah.
two
The toilet
movements,
paper
for sure.
is getting like it's getting
For
yeah.
sure.
The
Oh,
breath should have been a little higher.
See, I gave up toilet paper a long time ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
But spatulas?
I can't give up my secret, man.
Oh, okay. That's cool. To each his own.
I just spray Pam directly on my
But
ass.
my area is super
That way you
clean.
can just shoot right
Fuck
out.
yeah,
Jamie,
dude,
you weren't
yeah.
supposed to tell anybody, dude.
Bro.
Well, I figured you got the fucking hand pump the day going.
If you just shit in the shower.
you just waffle stop that shit down the drain.
You guys are next.
You guys see that one that was like, this is how you guys do it? You either just stomp it down the drain or because the shitter's right there, do you just fucking toss it in?
Jesus Christ. I'm getting back pains from standing like this.
You're shitting the shower, you pick it up, and you just fucking hook it in the toilet.
Why do we always resort to
Because this is what we are, bro.
Yeah.
This is what we are, bro.
Oh my goodness.
There it is.
I'm the victim.
Yeah, it was a meme. Jennifer called me out. It was a meme. Yeah, I said I saw it on the internet, didn't I?
Yeah,
I thought I
interwebs.
said- yeah. Most of the things I say on here are memes, and I usually
Sure.
call that out. So it is what it is.
It's not all original material.
Yeah.
So what were you talking about? Okay, so the prepper thing, right?
Well, we are mostly satire and fake news, so.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Oh shit, TJ was on the thing 10 minutes ago. Yeah, TJ, the gentleman who designed our logo.
Oh, sweet. What up if you're still there?
He said he had to leave early for a conference call.
Oh,
Good to
okay.
see you guys back up and running. I'm gonna
Right
just because I'm a quick texty here.
Right on. So what we were talking about, me and Jamie on the ride over here, we were talking about how prepping, like, so preppers and hoarders are getting this whole like fucking bad rap. Oh, they're all running out. Well, it's not. It's the panic buyers. So if we're going with the hoarders, okay, they're crazy fucks that are like have dead cats under their sofa and all that. So that's not even relevant, right? Their house smells like piss. It's full of boxes and garbage. So that we've all watched the TV show Hoarders. We understand what that is. So that's irrelevant. It's not even right when you're talking wordage, right?
Mhm.
But preppers is totally wrong because preppers have already planned out and have their shit prepared. right? So that they aren't part of this whole responsibility. It's the panic buyers, which are the average Joes that don't have anything in stock and they freak out and they go buy everything. What I did learn on this whole thing, which I love this, is there's always chips, soda, frozen pizzas, beer, all candy. That shit's everywhere. So if you're a prepper, like you already have all your prep squared away, right? Then when this shit hits the fan, while everyone's filling the lines doing that, you hit the convenience store and you buy your chips and your fun, good, convenient, food. Yeah, the comfort food, the fun stuff, because that shit's everywhere. It's not a fucking problem. So stop saying that it's fucking preppers or hoarders. It's actually panic buyers because they're all the fucking average Joes that don't know their ass from a hole in the ground.
Dude, and it's not. There was not.
I think that was simple enough, right?
Exactly. You 100% right. There was not a single one of people that are like us that was out there in those fucking lines. Nope. We already had all that shit. Nope. And toilet paper? I'm not gonna fucking run out of like, come on. Like, what, are you out of your mind? Okay, that was the stupidest thing to be a commodity.
And Chris didn't have to worry about toilet paper, so he's good.
Can you just get all these fucking idiots buying, like, how many asses are they gonna wipe, man? I mean, how many shits are you gonna take?
Is that not a hilarious thing to be a commodity?
It was the number one thing outside of water. Like, even bottled water was still on the shelves longer than toilet paper.
It's so fucking strange when I'm seeing people with, instead of food, like 3 months of food in their cart,
toilet paper.
They have like 10 months of toilet paper.
And it's and the other problem is too is that everyone keeps going to these Mexican restaurants when you could just go to the number one Mexican restaurant, Taco Bell, and you're not gonna have the shit. But if you go to these other fucking second-rate tier shit, then you will get the shits. But Taco Bell, you're good.
Always good.
Yeah, number one, voted.
Independently blind. This is kind of a tough one because.
Well, what's the question?
It is, what is your guys' take on SSID, specifically on blind community where employers are not giving them opportunity to work?
Where is that? Where are you reading
right.
that?
Yeah, I don't even see it.
So he's basically asking what's our take on.
Wait, whoa, stop.
Yeah.
There we almost canceled.
Crisis averted.
Oh shit.
Okay, so he says, what did you guys take on SSDI, specifically on the blind community, where employers are not giving them opportunity to work? I don't know what SSDI is.
I'm not blind and I'm not allowed to work, so I don't know what exactly what he's meaning. What is he meaning? Like,
okay, so what was his name? Jason?
Jason. Independently blind.
Yeah, we need a little more info on that, but I don't know what the SSDI is. I'm terribly sorry. I'm not asking you to is it Social Security something?
Disability insurance.
Is it disability?
Okay. And they're not giving blind people the opportunity to work. It kind of sounds like what's happening to a lot of people. A lot of people don't have the ability to work.
If you're talking about right now in the crisis that's happening right now, then I'm not working either. So I don't know. And then I would say that I'm not quite sure on the way you're asking the question, but I'd also say that most people are told to stay home, so it wouldn't matter what.
Can we just point out
don't know
how stupid I looked right now saying I don't know what the SSD. We've been talking about Social Security and all that sort of shit. I didn't know what the acronym was.
You know you pay into that, right?
Yeah. I've never
once used the acronym either.
I've never heard the acronym.
I'm breaking the seal again.
And you paid into it.
You broke the seal. You only did it one time.
I'm drunk. Fuck off.
Then you use those services. I mean, that's what they're there for.
Jefferson, she thought she was in the movie Zombieland. Dad doing math. The dad doing math video where he uses the very technical term amount of shits people would need to take is gold. If you haven't seen that one, it's fucking good. Fucking mint. Johnny's chuckling over there.
I'm missing.
Real quick, guys, sound check, audio check. I've gotten a couple of errors on here saying that we had an inconsistent connection, but it looks like it's playing and it's not really stuttering. How do we sound? How do we look? Well, I know how I look. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
that was
you're so gorgeous.
That was terrible.
I mean, can you guys see the 3 hairs that are coming in on my chin?
Hey, check the book real quick just to see what we have topic-wise. sound like jingle bells.
From here, we've
I
got.
say we give it about 10 more minutes, and then.
What are the other topics? Let's question.
Well, so we have the Be a Good Human, but I like the Apocalypse Power Struggle better.
Okay, so what was that one? I can't remember.
Talking about. Okay, so I'll intro.
Yeah, start it.
All right, so here's another thing we wanted to talk about. This is gonna be a little segment called Apocalypse Power Struggle. What happens when you and your group of merry individuals roll up on another group of merry individuals? And here's something that happens. You realize that maybe you have a home base and they do not, so you decide to take them into your home base. And maybe you decide that this other gentleman or other woman or other individual is more qualified to do a specific aspect of your job for you. Do you pridefully keep it to yourself, or do you responsibly delegate it out to them?
The authority you're talking about, right?
Yeah, well, the
control of
a specific job, right? Because it's like, if I realize that I'm in a situation where we may come under
we're talking about worst case scenario here.
Yeah, worst case scenario. If we're in a prepper situation, we're in an apocalyptic situation, and we end up with a group of people, and we go through a situation where I think that we may actually encounter a gunfight. Now, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I've never actually been in a fucking gunfight, okay? I've shot at a lot of steel targets and shit like that, but I've never fired at anybody or have anyone fired at me. Now, perhaps I meet somebody who has more experience in those situations. Should I retain control of my group myself, or should I delegate that control, that responsibility off to other individual that in an apocalyptic situation, you may not even really know that well?
I would say case by case.
Absolutely.
So if you have a group of people and you know that like this one guy has experience in gunfights, maybe he's a sergeant, ex-military, or even a cop or something like that, and you're in a hunkered down, situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably relinquish for control immediately and be like, you're in charge of security. If there's somebody that's like a chef or someone that worked at a soup kitchen, like running it or some shit, that person's probably in charge of the fucking kitchen and all that shit. If there's a medical professional, they're going to be in charge of that. So I think it's a common sense kind of thing. You should take if it's your property or something like that, you should probably take your pride out of it. Mm-hmm. If the other person is willing to step up and help out each of the individuals in the group.
Okay. I like that.
That's kind of a generic way of quickly.
I say everybody is responsible for their own safety.
Well, absolutely.
But
if you're hunkered down in a group,
I'm gonna go. Yeah. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna defer to the person with the most expertise in
each field of what you're talking about, right?
Right. Yeah, I don't have a problem with the like.
Take your pride out of it. I think we're all basically saying.
Well, so here's the thing. I'm to make this less of an echo chamber, like our normal show is. I think that I'd have a problem doing that.
You would. Okay.
Yeah, I
at least deep down.
Yes, right. I think, like, and this is me being honest. I think deep down I do have a little bit of a problem with pride, and it's not. It's I try not to let it go to my head or anything like that, but I have a real problem with people trying to take away my accomplishments from me. And when you are going to take a responsibility from me, that kind of to me also takes my takes my accomplishments away, because now I'm no longer in a position where I can continue to do well in a spot where I do well. So you've now taken that from me too. So maybe it wouldn't be as second nature to me as it would the two of you, but I think I would get there.
So I've always,
because it is a greater good kind of a thing. And with being in a small group, when you're allowed to make a tactical decision on what would be the best person for a specific operation, I feel like I would eventually get there. It just may not be instantaneous like you guys.
Right. I get what you're saying. Thank you for being honest. That's amazing. Yeah. Most people won't be that honest with it. But I would say that whenever you meet somebody that has that, so I've done that a lot, like training with firearms and stuff like that with my friends and things like that. Whenever somebody came into my circle of friends or whatever, like as soon as they said they did this and they had this experience, I immediately, what I've learned from multiple different other instructors that they would tell you is that you immediately stop where you're at and you absorb everything that person has to say. And then that is where when they're teaching you, you just absorb that, right? Like, or if you go to another martial arts school or something, you stop whatever it is that you knew, you can use that, but you just stop and let them teach you. And I kind of use that, even though it's a different kind of scenario, because we're talking about a school setting, right? But I'm saying, like, I use that same kind of concept, like when it comes to this, like You got to take your pride out of it, and you got to do your shit.
Well, I think it comes down to also like demeanor, and being able to give people instructions without creating conflict. Because you could be a guy who knows tons about one subject, right? And you may be the expert on it, but if you can't relay that information, or if you have people who are unwilling to follow you,
okay, good point.
You are
very good
you are
point.
not-
You want to keep especially
not-
if you're in a group, you want to avoid conflict.
Right.
Now, however, what you can do, so say what he's saying is totally true in this scenario, right? Like just say, and it is true in general, right? But what I'm saying in a scenario, say that's true. What I would say is, well, then maybe instead of having that person in charge of the security detachment or the medical or whatever it is that you're doing in your group, what I would probably recommend is then make them an advisor,
right?
But they're not in charge,
right?
So they might have the more experience,
but you're the one giving the orders.
But you're the one that's the leader. Maybe maybe they have the information and they're not even the born leader kind of thing.
Like some sort of a council.
Maybe whatever it is that you decide to, whatever statism you decide to set up in the apocalypse.
In your apocalypse, because it's all
you're governing yourself.
You're governing yourselves. Look, it's fucking it's anarchy. There doesn't have to be.
I would
rules.
rather have that government than the one we have now.
Yeah, sure.
Fucking
just depends
across the board. We all
depends on what it is
to some degree.
But yeah, I mean, like that. I would just say, like, don't think that just because somebody does have more experience, but you're able to convey it more. You might be the one available to like absorb it fast and reteach it to the other people better than they are able. Maybe they're not even a born teacher, but they have that information.
Mm-hmm.
What I would say is maybe you just get, hey, I need you as my main number 2. You're my advisor. You're going to help me teach and be able to do all this stuff. You know, there's ways to do these things.
So see, what you do
outside of just
is you have the technicians.
Yeah,
and they're not good with dealing with the customers, right?
What exactly do you do here?
So I deal with the technicians and
office space
and the customer, all right? The customer doesn't know. Yeah, so
jump to conclusions.
But I mean, that is a legitimate thing, right? So Corey said something in here that I wanted to. Corey, you're gonna have to come back here and explain this because I'm not sure. Corey says, but you were in a place where people were being shot at. I think he was referring to the right, yeah. But Jamie, you were in a place that had someone shooting at people.
Garlic Festival he's talking about.
Yeah, as he's talking about the Garlic Festival. Yeah. What is that in reference to? Like
experience, I think is what he was talking about. So
because we were talking about
you could for instance, I've had guns pointed at me multiple times, knives pointed at me. What I say that and I'm talking as far as I am from this camera right here. Now, what I would also say is that does not make me a combat expert like an infantryman that has been deployed or a special ops, you know what I mean? Or a cop even that does the beat. So I wouldn't even when it comes to tactical, we're talking here.
I've been punched in the head. I don't think
I had
boxer.
I had fluid. On Friday, I got hit in the head and I had fluid leaking out of it. I had a concussion. And everyone that is wondering, I got that pepper spray the fuck out of everyone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, Corey, I'm chilling.
And all the cops that responded were laughing at me.
I hope you're
spraying them
naked in your
beanbag chair.
On your beanbag chair or your couch, sitting next to your naked wife, watching me.
What up, Jen?
Watching me chill.
Hey, one thing is I just think that like a cool thing is no matter how much you think you don't know everything, right? And you should always be open to like learning new shit, even if you think you got a grasp on it. And when somebody gives you new information, like, and I'm using tactical stuff in my mind right now, but this could be medical, this could be prepping, this could be philosophy, this could be anything. Like, still open your mind enough to let that information come in and like dive through it. You know what I mean? Like, but I do understand that. I will say, like, when a liberal or a fucking conservative is coming with the same shit and they'll be like, oh, well, you're not being open-minded now. I'm like, because I've heard all the shit you had to say a billion times before you even said it. Like I've heard this shit before. But if someone's trying to come with an abstract thought or a different position or something like that, listen to what they're saying.
Right. Well, the thing is, you have to be open to accepting information. I mean, that's just in general. If you want to grow, you want to learn, you have to be willing to
use reason, fact, and logic as your determining key. Don't use feels. Don't use the feels, because that's not what we do here.
Corey, okay, so Corey says, if something goes on you know what it feels like to be in a gunfight. Your fight or flight hits and just breathe and return fire.
Gunfight might not be the
So,
right wording.
Yeah, I was near a situation where the shots were fired, right? So now we already did a video on this last year, so I'm not going to get back into it or whatever, but to sort of explain what that was like really quickly. Yes, there was gunfire. No, I didn't panic. Yes, I wish I had a gun on me. And yes, I did boot up on my phone the radio app that lets me boot into like the local PD, right? So I at least had some information more than a lot of the people that didn't have a radio going on. I knew to keep people behind hard surfaces. So they were behind the freezer trailers that had the beer kegs in them. They were behind cars. I told them to orient themselves in front of the engine block specifically because I know that will stop a bullet. I didn't know what caliber we're dealing with here at that point.
Front wheel.
So yeah, well, the front wheel is where the engine bay is.
Yeah,
right?
that's the
like
one that you. If you have your
thing.
choice of a vehicle to hide behind, front wheel because you got the engine block.
So
plus the wheel.
But aside from that, I mean, I was
definition of gunfights. Two guys with guns.
I was 200 yards away from the shooting, right?
So technically, I've been within 50 yards of a fucking drive-by in front of a bar I work at, and the first night I worked at another bar I worked at, less than 50 yards. So it's like, but I'm not saying I've been in a gunfight. Mm-hmm. So don't like the wording is no disrespect. I'm just saying the wording is different. Gunfights where people are engaging between each other.
I like to think so too, Corey. I like to think that if I did need to fight at that point, that I would be cognizant enough to do so. That is what we train for, right? I hope that I never have to. That's something that I don't think we say on here enough. Maybe is that I hope we never have to do any of that.
Right.
But yeah, I may be a little bit better than someone who's never had a gun before or held a gun.
Hey, you can reload a mag real quick on an AR
platform. Fucking fast, dude. Yep. So, kind of just teetering back into what you were saying about how you would shift the responsibilities or you would give the tasks on.
I know where you're going with this.
So
go for it.
With the training day that we did, right?
Go ahead, tell that.
So this is the first time we'd ever gone out and shot in real guns together
as a bunch of buddies,
and
a lot of
Johnny gives me the task of teaching some of our more green shooters how to do tactical reloads on their ARs and on their pistols. And it's because
let me interrupt real fast and you can continue. So we had two military people, like former military, that were basically training us. One was Marine, one was Army, and we're doing our whole little like training scenario and all that shit. And I'm like, well, if you want someone to teach how to do the pistol stuff outside of me doing it, talk to Jamie. And I would actually recommend it because the way he actually breaks it down, he's going to be more patient and he's going to be able to teach it better. Especially at that point, because like I was still like I was good with what I could do, but I knew that you would be able to teach better than me or any of the other guys, even the military guys.
And
I told them that, and then they went right away, and he knew I said it.
No, and that's great, and that made me feel really good, right? But it's one of those things too, where it's like, yeah, I mean, okay, these guys are ex-military. They're not, they're our friends. We love them, right? But they have coarse personalities in some cases. So dealing with me versus dealing with them as a new shooter is a little bit less stressful when you're dealing with me, right? So
theoretically, you could argue that you've been shooting longer, even if they were airsoft.
Yeah, I guess.
Even if they were airsoft.
I've been going through the repetitions longer. How about that?
Yeah.
I got to get going, guys.
Yeah.
Got to wrap it up.
Okay.
Wrap it up.
All right. We pretty much got everything we went over with.
Do we have any left open?
The only one that we had was the just be a good human. Don't live in fear.
Okay, let's close on that. That's a real quick one. So what we're all saying is like basically be a good human. Don't live in fear. And like if it really is your last days on earth, if you're that stressed out and freaked out about this, would you like living in fear, or would you rather have a small circle of friends that you're hanging around with? Be responsible, too, at the same time. Like, we're not saying go hang out with a bunch of fucking people that you don't – you know what I mean? Like, just be smart about it, dude. Like, it's not as – at this current point, now I'm just going to say it's not as bad as everyone's making it out to be on social media. You cannot stroll through your feed and not see every 3 posts is something about this. It's fucking insane.
I will say this. Right now may not be the best time to try to go out to social gatherings to maybe meet somebody.
Yeah. Well, there isn't anything open even yet.
All right? So maybe you just keep kindled the relationships that you have and keep yourself safe and healthy, right?
Yeah.
and in turn keep everyone else safe and healthy.
I agree.
Let's flatten the curve here, people.
You have thoughts, Chris?
Let me talk to you directly. You want to avoid a lot of this fear. You want to make sure that you're safe and don't have to
Coronas.
get the coronas. Well, just prepare. Just get yourself prepared. Go to the store, buy yourself some groceries. It's gonna last a while.
A fuck ton of toilet paper.
Don't buy toilet paper. Buy meds and wash your hands.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Buy
There's
a couple
nothing
cans
scary
of
about
soup and
that.
beans and rice.
There's nothing scary about that. Just be prepared.
You can purify the water out of your fucking sinks, people. You don't need to buy bottled water.
True story. Comes right out of the sink. I've tried
Yeah.
it. I've tried it myself.
My Sharona.
My Coronas. 19.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and call it, guys.
We are
Hi,
out of
guys.
here.
We hopefully will be
Thank
back
you.
next week.
Thank you once again for joining
If we
us
don't die
on
of the
Grim
coronas.
86 Freedom First podcast. We are broadcasting live directly into your brain. We will catch you guys here next Monday. Maybe
Yeah,
get
probably.
a podcast in. I don't know. All kinds of things could happen. We just never know. But we'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace, everybody.
Bye. Taxation is still theft. Perfect.